evening, everybody. The deer is here, and I apologize for the wait. Hello, my friends. Hello. And we return to Limbus Company. Hew. The last time we were playing this game together, we had ended it. We had ended the stream in the middle of Canto 5. Ishmael has slowly degraded mentally and has become somewhat of a loose cannon on the team due to her obsession with finding a certain character that we shall meet in the future. As of right now, she nearly killed Dante with her harpoon, who decided to defend the first mate of the Hook Pirates. As go the rules of our little journey, we have access to 2 IDs due to interacting with 2 of the characters of this story. We have Shotgun Ryoshu, and we have Hook Pirates Gregor for the battles to come. Huzzah, huzzah. Hi Starla, welcome to the stream. Tonight we continue on with the Canto, all the way to the end. I want to make sure that we finish this Canto so we can move on to the next one. So, without further ado, since we are already late, let's get things going. Oh, and that's right. For those who need the code, who aren't inside the Discord, I shall post the crowd control code here. However, all interactions are turned off for the evening, since this is a story-based game. I just found out my middle name in my native language actually means shoot star. Coincidence? Like shooting star? Hello? That's a pretty good middle name. My middle name is just my dad's middle name. Hew. Whew. Well, that's really cool, Starla.
출발할게. 부릉부릉.
지역으로 출발하지.
Perhaps it was just fate. Of regretters, friends. Hi, Lupin. Welcome to the stream, and thank you for resubscribing. Lament. So, did you guys see the number on the top left by chance? The top left of that song, when the map is revealing itself, actually shows the population total for the city, and we are actually in the 8,200,000. Excuse me, we're in the 8,200,000,000 count, and that number is constantly going up and down. It's going up and down so fast that the number's just constantly adding up and subtracting itself. That shows you just how violent the city is. Okay, continuing off. It never occurred to me that the city wasn't landlocked. The city is currently landlocked. It's just... Oh, excuse me. I see what you mean by landlocked. No, it's not entirely landlocked, as the Great Lakes actually extend into the unknown open sea. Do we have to do this? This is pre-battle? Okay, so we just need to read this real quick. So, Ishmael, this lobotomy core branch is still a ways away. Why don't you rest up for a bit while you can? That's what we always do anyway. Or at least let me take the next shift. I've done my fair share of night washes. Oh my gosh, that actually made me yawn. Oh. Gregor's yawn betrayed his confidence. Ishmael didn't care. She wasn't gonna move from her station anyway. Ishmael looked like she was waiting for something to happen. Or maybe she was deathly afraid of something. She did not even for a second, leave the telescope, courtesy of Rain most likely, installed on the modified Mephistopheles. That's a good attitude, Swabi. It has been my long-held belief that letting your guard down is to let your comrades down. I asked Otis her thoughts out of curiosity, but she simply replied that Virgilus had already acted upon the matter. If the executive manager would not take action, then that was that. She also explained that while she would not hesitate to clash with Ishmael again should the need arise, she would not continue this pointless tussle that only lowered the team's morale. I guess that's good enough. But we're in the middle of a lake. And as long as we stick to the laws of the Great Lake, I don't see us getting... There! Ahead! Ishmael suddenly got up and hurried into the cabins as though she noticed something through the telescope. Attacked by anything. My bad. You jinxed us, Gregor! Time to drift again, redhead. It's too late to change course. That trick won't help us here. They went through the trouble of hiding themselves in an artificial fog of war. We're obviously their target. It's a matter of time before they catch up with this ship. Now that they know our location, deal with them as you will. Manager, permit us to board their ship. Are you sure that boarding their ship is the best course of action if we want to save our ship? According to my experience, yes. Okay, I'll leave it to you then. I hope you'll continue to make wise choices like that. I sighed with relief, as she seemed to be going along with me for now. With that, I took a few steps behind the other sinners and watched her. We'll hook their ship with harpoons, force them into melee range. Somebody grab the helm and turn it on my signal. Then someone should be on standby, ready to shut the engine off at the right moment. Hey you! Bring some extra rope. You! Wait for her signal inside the wheelhouse. Ishmael's explanations were rapid and confident. Otis nodded along affirmatively. The other sinners were quick to follow their instructions. Watching Ishmael throw her razor-sharp harpoon toward the pirate ship, I started to feel that something was off. There they were, the sinners, working so well together like clockwork. But underneath all of that, maybe all that mattered to them was their own goals. I was wondering if all the times I've spent thinking, hoping, and contemplating about our futures together were pointless. This thought lingered for a while in my head. Alright, so we beat the pirates back. Is this post? This is post battle. Okay, we're gonna fight this one. Yi-sung.
앞장서시오.
와, 기대되네요. 흥미로운 일이 벌어지면
Captain
좋겠어요.
Ishmael. Also, hi, Fastrum. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Welcome. Oh god, 6 on 4. Oh boy.
바람구멍을 내주지.
Drifloon! That's one of my favorite Pokemon.
똑같이 흐느적거리는구만.
When I was a kid, I caught a Drifloon right on the day I started playing the game. Now, that doesn't sound special until I point out the fact that you can only catch a Drifloon on Fridays in the old Pokemon game that he first came out in. It was fate for me to have the rare ghost Pokemon on my team. Hugh, hugh, hugh.
배를 날려주지. 자세가 무너져.
찢어진 똑같이 흐느적거리는구만.
두드려 패고 터뜨려주지.
고개 거울이 깨졌어.
Ooh. Ryoshi with a shotgun.
해보기는 할게요. 안 되면 어쩔 수 없지만요.
Drifloon!
타겟 무
Make sure to take care of your Drifloon. Drifloons are good boys. So long as you do not allow them to kidnap children. Whew!
똑같이
That was good.
흐느적거리는구만. 홉들을 제거하겠소.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
고개 거울이
It's kidnapping me though.
깨졌어.
No! Lupin!
타겟 무력.
재밌는 순간이에요.
Dun 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 dun.
홉들을 제거하겠소.
Nice.
타겟 무력화.
셔츠는 낙엽하오.
새롭다니까요.
I love how her skill 3 is just oof. By the way, for Project Playtime tomorrow, we're gonna do the second phase or stay with the updated version. Okay, so I've looked into second phase. Nobody was playing.
이놈들 지갑 좀 볼까?
I took that guy's advice and downgraded to phase 2, but no one was playing. You crafty bastards! We were gonna board your ship first!
우리가 좀 바빠서
We've got
말이야.
places to be, things to do. Okay. Now, answer my question. Lie or flap your gums meaninglessly, and I'll tear your limbs off your mugs. Speak. Who sent you plonkers after us? We can't let someone who dared to lay a finger on our face mate leave in one piece. Your very breath brings shame to our syndicate. By Captain Hook's orders, ye won't leave here alive. Ha! Ain't that bloody marvelous? I like seeing a good camaraderie. So what I'd say about flapping your gums meaninglessly? Think your threats will rattle us? We're no tenderfoots, you stupid sons of bachelors. What a clingy bunch. We spared their first mate's lives, and this is the thanks we get?
스미 그
You
사람이 말한 게
think this is what
이걸까요?
Smee meant?
자기를 건드리면
That we'll
큰일이
regret
날
it if we...
거라던데.
아니야.
No.
치라는
Your juvenile whining. That's not from shame. Huh?
함께했던
When all of your
놈들이
mates lay dead,
광기 어린
consumed,
선동에 전부
manipulated, and
개조한다는
led into a meat grinder by the collective insanity of a mad
유일하게
woman.
들리는
When you're
소리라고는
left in that endless void where the only sound is your beating heart. Wait!
잠깐.
And when you realize that your heart continues to beat because it's so desperately, pathetically clinging onto life, despite all that, that's when you'll feel true
그때
shame.
느끼는 거야.
Wait! Looking at the sorry state of your boat, I can hazard you have no clue what you're doing here. Spare me, and I'll tell you what you need to know. I'll even put in a good word to the boss man for ye. Nothing to lose here, eh, lass? You won't have anyone to put in a good word if you kill me. Am I getting through to ye? Spare me, and ye just might sail out of this lake with your...
이런
I'm
의미도
tired
없는
of
뻔한
listening
말을
to
일일이
these
들어주는 것도
inane,
한심해.
meaningless pleas.
방금 저게 마지막이었죠?
That was the last one, right?
다시 배로 복귀하면
Let's go back to
되겠어요.
our ship. That ship was still as death as its sails fluttered a forlorn dance in the winds. Okay, pirates dealt with. And now we deal with the waves.
내가 필요해?
흥미로운 일이 벌어지면 좋겠어요.
Alright, we're just gonna be gambling to the poppy playtime cost and hope to join each other. Just like last time. Hopefully we get a toy monster match this time too. So something's been bothering me. Wasn't it weird how they all seemed so certain? That if we kept going this way, we'd run into some other huge disaster?
특기할 점은 아닙니다.
It is nothing of note, manager.
저들은
It is
자신이
but a
우위에
byproduct of their firm
있기
belief
때문에
in their advantage over us.
그것보다 특이했던
I have
것은
observed an
저들의
oddity,
선체하에
however.
날카로운
They had
것들이
installed numerous
무수하게
spikes on the
박혀
lower
있었다는
side of their
것입니다.
ship's hull.
백끼리의 충돌을
Are they not
대비한다는
for ramming into other vessels?
해상 근접전에서
I have heard that such
그런 일이
tactics
왕왕
were
있다고
occasionally used in naval combat.
충각을 노렸다.
They were installed far
위치가
too low in the
배바닥에
water
중점적으로
to be
몰려
useful
있었고
as a means of
부식의
ramming
정도를
another
보았을
ship.
때
It can
설치한
be
지 그리 오래되진 않아 보인다.
extrapolated from the metal's level of corrosion that the spikes, concentrated on the keel of the boat, have been installed recently.
배 밑바닥을
How'd you
봤다고?
see the keel of the boat?
가까우니
The water
멀리서
was
보였다.
clearer up close than it appeared from a distance.
밑에서 무언가가
Maybe they were trying to
올라오는
stop
걸
something from
막고
climbing up on the
싶었던
ship?
걸까요?
Can't imagine that any
바닥을 향해
fish
돌진하는
would
물고기는
swim
상상이
blindly into the
가능한가?
keel of a boat.
유리창이 돌진하는
Not birds
천재도 아니고
crashing into windows.
별거 아닐 수도 있잖아.
Maybe it was nothing.
해적들은
You know
미신 같은
how
거잘
superstitious
믿는다며.
pirates can be.
그런 장시간이야.
What if it's like a good luck charm? Maybe we should have let assistant manager pilot tag along.
트레일러 대리와 통해. 파우스트 씨,
Know anything
알고 있는
about
거
this, Faust?
관련된 정보는
No.
아직 업데이트되지
perni-
않았습니다.
What is this? Pertinent knowledge has been updated.
호수의 규칙을
The most we
유념하며
can do
나아가는
is to ensure that we
것이 최선인 것 같군요.
do not violate any laws of the Great Lake. Thus continued our journey to the lobotomy core branch with the variable coordinates pilot gave us. Paranoia of the unknown weighed heavily on our shoulders. After an indeterminate amount of time, Otis,
오티스,
we will have to steer the ship
방향타를
port side.
좌현으로 돌려야 할 것 같네요.
What?
뭐?
Otis, who was looking out ahead from the bow of the ship, whipped around. Whatever Faust said seemed to have hit her unexpectedly.
어이,
Hey,
몇십 분
it
전만
hasn't been an hour since you
이
told us
구역을
that we'll have to
직선으로
cross the
빠르게
zone in
지나가야
a straight
한다고 말하지
line.
예측했던 속도에
We are
도달하지
falling short of our
못했습니다.
target speed. At our
이대로 이
current rate,
구역을
we will be
벗어나게
stuck
되면
by the next
다음
zone's
구역의
waves
파도를 맞이할
as soon
겁니다.
as we exit here.
그게 이번 구역의
Is that the
빌어먹을
damn
규칙이.
law of this zone?
맞습니다.
Indeed.
해적과의 전투가
Though our
빠르게
encounter
끝마치긴
with the
했지만
pirates was rapidly
시간이
resolved,
지체되었던
we
건
still
다르지
fell behind
않았으니까요.
schedule. The variable
변동 좌표가
coordinates now
안내하는
point
내용이
to a different
바뀌었습니다.
route.
여기서
How much time are we
얼마나
going to have to
써봐야 하는
waste
거지?
here?
안내대로라면
According to the variable
약
coordinates,
3일 정도의
the necessary
우회 항로를
roundabout
이용해야겠군요.
path will cost us 3 more days. Otis bit her lip with discontent before suddenly turning in my direction.
관리자님,
Executive Manager,
이번 작전의
I have a
속도를
genius
증진하는 것과
plan.
더불어
A plan that will not only accelerate this operation, but also increase the chances of securing and rescuing the lives of the LCCB agents.
적어도
If we were to waste 3 more days at sea, there's very little guarantee for their well-being.
보장은 없습니다.
Well, what's the plan? We keep going
돌리지 않는
forward.
것입니다.
With that, Otis slowly raised the acceleration lever.
뭐라고요?
What?
제정신인가요?
Are you nuts?
파도가
We'd be
올
sailing
것이라는
right into
걸
the
미리
waves.
알고
You know
그
that.
안으로 들어가겠다고. 파도에 대해서
I know
들은
what the
것들이
waves are,
있다고.
Swabby. I'm not as ignorant of the Great Lakes as you might
네
think.
녀석도
You've had a plenty of experience weathering and conquering waves as well, haven't you?
그야 당연하죠.
Yeah, but that's because they were unavoidable. Because we lacked enough information to take the roundabout path. I've never sailed knowingly into the waves before.
하지만
But you still prevailed, didn't you?
심지어 지금처럼
And that was when you didn't have someone to bring you back. I say that this is well within our
우리가
capabilities.
충분히 이겨낼 수 있음을 의미한다. 더불어
Besides, there's the added benefit of accelerating our mission, and the higher possibility of the rescue that the executive manager and a few underlings wanted.
이스마일,
It was clear to me that you, Ishmael, weren't so happy with how slow our progress has been. What is it? Did you suddenly get a yearning for a 3-day sunbathing break? Instead of responding to Otis's sarcastic remark, Ishmael squinted in the direction the boat was speeding in.
물결,
The tides,
냄새,
the odor,
속도,
the speed,
색깔.
the color. That lake over there, the
흐리고
blue
비린
whirling lake of
청색호수.
murk and fish reek.
직접 겪어본
I haven't
호수는
suffered
아니지만
its waves before,
저 호수의
but I know
파도에
many ships that
작살난
have,
개들은 많았다는 건
many
알아요.
of which are now lying at the bottom of the lake. This is well without our capabilities.
그게
Fine,
우리가 되지 않으면
as long as we don't join them.
저
What?
만일
What if we just went to
갔다가요.
take a quick look?
아니다 싶으면
And if we feel like
다시
it's too much for
돌아와도
us,
되잖아요.
we can just go back the way we
그렇지
came,
않나요?
right?
다시 돌아간다.
Go back the... There's no
이
such thing
호수에는
as
왔던
going
길로
back in this
되돌아간다는
lake.
개념이 없다.
어떻게 할까요, 단테?
Your decision, Dante. Let's try following Otis's plan.
네,
Understood.
구역의 경계를
Crossing
넘어
the zone's borders
지정한
to the
호수로
target
갑니다.
lake.
맙소사.
You've got to be kidding me. Otis,
오티스 씨,
you better be right.
당신은
As soon as those words left Ishmael's mouth, there was a flash in the sky. Thunder? It's really starting to pour.
태풍의 눈.
We're in the eye of the storm. Wait, but the sky was clear just moments ago. How could this... Hello, Gender. Hello. Welcome, my friend. Welcome to the stream. Stay hydrated, dear. Okay. Thank you. How are you doing, my friend? We're just doing some Limbus company.
이미 파도가
The waves are
밀려왔다는
already here,
관리자님.
manager.
재미있는
That was an entertaining display.
결혼
Caron,
슬슬
this seems like a good opportunity to test that function. Okay,
버티기
switching
모드
to endure mode.
전환.
That's when reality began to sink in. What had happened to, what happens to, and what will happen to everyone and everything that entered this lake without preparation for what's to come. What do we do now, Ishmael? There's this
대호수의
adage that
처음
every
항해를
greenhorn
시작하는
sailor
군에게
of the
선언해.
Green Lake hears
한
before they
번쯤
set their
들었던
first
말이 있죠.
sail.
만약 네가
There is
어떤
but
파도가
one
일지
thing you can
모르는
count
호수
on
속에
if you
갇히게
find
된다면
yourself in an unfamiliar
믿어야 하는
lake
건 단
whose
하나.
waves are alien to you. A colossal wave rises to its crest before us. S-I-C.
조금이라도
Ready your
늑득해지고
weapons if you
싶다면
want to
무기를
delay the
꺼내두는
inevitable.
편이 좋을 거다. 그건
It's
너의
not
항해
your
실력,
sailing prowess,
말리까지 보는
your
길잡이 실력,
far-seeing eyes of a pathfinder,
동료들 간의
or the
끈적이는
unbreakable
유대감도
bond between you and your mates.
많은 이들이
Many
이것을
sailors fail to
견디지
endure this trial, and instead choose to become sacrifices to the
스스로를 제물로
depths of the
삼는 걸
lake.
택한다.
Huh? Something's climbing onto our ship?
그저
Trust
얻어와
nothing
분노가 떨리는
but your own resolve
제정신을 유지할 수
to
있는
hold
너의
steadfast in the
의지를
face of
믿어야
terror, in the face of calamity.
고작
Though
호수가 너
the
따위가
raging lake
잠잠해질지
may remain
모르겠지만
indifferent to the will of your meager existence. Here we go, the waves.
금방 다녀올게.
하나 가져간다.
두드려 패고 터뜨려 주지.
겨우 이 정도야?
별것도 아니네.
해보기는 할게요. 안 되면 어쩔 수 없지만요.
별것도 아니네.
Whew.
별것도 아니네.
금방 다녀올게.
찢어진 톱같이 흐느적거리는 찢어진 톱같이 흐느적거리는구만.
해보기는 할게요. 안 되면 어쩔 수 없지만요.
자세가 무너져.
별것도 아니네.
겨우 이제 한 건 했다. 맛있는 거 준비해줘, 단테.
You can say that she slayed. Accepts the brick.
찢어진 톱같이 흐느적거리는.
Ooh, that was some good damage.
재밌는 순간이에요. 야!
바람 구멍을 내주.
고개 거울은 깨졌어.
싹 다 정리해버렸네. 아, 돈이 덜 나오는데.
Yes, Lupin.
내 지갑 좀 볼까?
I boop you back. I boop you back. I boop you back.
흥미로운 일이 벌어지면 좋겠어요.
곡들을 제거하겠어.
찢어진 톱같이 흐느적거리는구만. 바람 구멍을 내주지.
야!
Too bad we don't have any IDs for the waves. This is sort of kind of a season where they didn't have that many IDs from the actual story, because most of it was monsters.
고개 거울은 깨졌어.
별것도 아니네. 별것도 아니네.
폭들을 제거하겠어.
Splash. Splash.
찢어진 것같이 흐느적거리는구만. 찢어진 것같이 흐느적거리는. 별것도 아니네.
자세가 무너져. 개를 날려주지.
금방 다녀올게.
셔츠는 낙엽하오.
가게 무력.
And jump.
야! 늘 새롭다니까요. 해보기는 할게요. 안 되면 어쩔 수 없지만요.
찢어진 것같이 흐느적거리는구만.
Turn 7, and it's not even the last wave.
바람구멍을 내주지.
폭의 거울은 깨졌어.
Ooh.
별것도 아니네. 바람구멍을 내주지.
가게 무력화.
바람구멍을 내주지.
Took some effort to clear the EX challenge for this fight.
자세가 무너져.
As I have already cleared it, it's not that big of an issue, but it's the fact that I wanted us to actually be able to do that.
가게 무력.
See, this is back when Encore was still really good.
금방 다녀올게.
Bonk. Bonk.
가게 무력화.
Ryoshu with a shotgun. You can say that she slayed.
것같이 흐느적거리는구만. 별것도 아니네.
Hey, we EX'd it.
싹 다 정리해버렸네. 아, 이러면 돈이 덜 나오는데. 이놈들 지갑 좀 볼까?
How
이제
many left?
면.
None.
그럼 이것이
Then this is the
마지막이겠네요.
last one. There was something off about those mermaids that crawled out of the whale. A feeling not so different from looking at an abnormality or a distortion. Mermaids. Were they human once?
제 설명이
I guess I
부족했군요.
should have explained better.
단순히
Not
밑바닥에
every
산다고 해서
creature that lives in the depths of the
고래라는
Great
이름이
Lake
붙여지진
are
않아요.
called whales.
고래라는 것들은
Whales are specifically referred to
호수에서
everything in
인간을
the
쑥
Great Lake
들어서는
that
모든
can
것들을 통틀어버리는
parasitize humans.
고래가
And whales give
인어들을
birth to
낳는 거죠.
mermaids. And where do the mermaids come from?
파도에 밀려온
They're
고래에
people
먹힌
devoured
거예요.
by the whales that came with the
우리도
waves.
비슷한 꼴이
There's no
될 수도
guarantee
있고.
that we won't meet the same fate.
알겠죠?
See?
어쩌면
Now you know why you can
관리자님이
turn the
되돌리는
clock
건
all day and fail
아무
to bring
소용이
us back.
없을지도 모른다고요.
I see now. The waves will be unrelenting, unabating. And Ishmael, who already weathered and braved these endless crashing waves, was starting to snap, strand by strand.
내게는
I have a
반드시
mission
이뤄야
that I
할 목표가
can't
있고
fail.
그걸 방해하는
And I'll
것들을
kill everything that stands in my way.
없애서 곤두박질 치면서
Even if I were to
부서지는 한이
stumble,
있더라도
even if every part of me were to fall apart,
갈 거예요.
I'll see it through to the end.
집념과
Determined and ferocious. Both good attitudes to have when setting sail on an adventure.
본격적인 항해.
Because our voyage is just getting started. Would you look at all of that in the Great Lakes? Isn't that intriguing? You actually get to see that one of the ships is actually going into a gigantic yellow hole. We can also see a few areas that we might actually approach in the future. I believe that was supposed to be like the end of part 2 right there. Oh no, that's the end of part 2, okay. The cruise party.
호수의 물,
The lake.
호수를 바라볼 때
When I look into its waters,
늘 힐렁이는
I see
모습에
my
내가
shimmering reflection.
호수가 아무리
Maybe I'm
달라도
just as refracted and twisted,
물 위에 비치는
like my
모습에
reflection in the water.
늘 일그러져
It
있어.
doesn't matter which lake we're on.
오히려
I always look so warped,
찌그러지고
so unstable.
일렁거리는 게
I happened upon Ishmael's musings around the time we were on our way to the elusive lobotomy core branch of the Great Lake. It had been a while since our last disastrous incident.
호수에 비춰온
Maybe
뒤틀린
my
모습들이
distorted reflections were just
사실은
me. Even from a distance, it was evident that Ishmael was gazing down at her own reflection in the water. I rested my wandering feet and decided to watch her for a moment. I wanted to see what Ishmael was looking at. Together,
손에
my hands were
피가 맺혔었지.
peeling, bleeding.
소금물이
Salt
들어갔을
water
때
seeped into my gaping wounds.
당장이라도
It hurt so
걸리지
much, so much that I thought I might faint if I didn't let go.
놓을 수 없었어.
But I couldn't.
무엇을 놓고 싶지 않았던
What was I holding on to?
관리자님,
Executive Manager,
보셔야겠습니다.
there's a matter that
다음
requires
좌표에
your
가까우신
attention.
것 같습니다.
We are approaching our next coordinates. Okay,
저도 보죠.
I'll go see too. Ishmael woke from her introspection and straightened herself. She strode towards us.
앞에는 뭐가 있죠?
What's up ahead?
눈앞에 보이는 것.
The raiders caught
레이더상에
something.
잡히는
We
것은
have a visual on
한쪽
a solitary ship.
그리고
And it looks
이번
like we have
호수에서의
3 hours to
대기는
kill before we're
3
allowed to
시간인
move on to the next lake.
다음 호수로 갈 때까지
Unless
3시.
the executive manager would authorize us to weather the waves once more.
그럴 필요.
No, Otis. The losses were worse than I anticipated, and remember what Ishmael said. We were extremely lucky the waves that came after us were relatively manageable ones. Yes,
명령하신 대로
executive manager.
따르겠습니다.
Thanks to Otis, who quickly abandoned the idea, the sinners and I could observe this new vessel with somewhat lighter hearts.
다행히
What a
해적선으로
relief.
보이지는 않아요.
That doesn't look like a pirate ship.
저건
That's... Guys, let's let Dawn do her own noises. Because no one could do it better than Dawn.
저거는
Oh! That is a mini cruise ship over yonder!
제배요.
A veritable party ship! A vessel of partying! Even from this distance, I could see the colorful balloons and banners decorating the ship.
난 파티가 정말 좋았어.
Dawn loves to party. There's the translation.
거기서는
None shall be vexed. No matter how I frolic at a party, naught will pay mind to how I leap and run and shout in there. What joy, is it not?
베르,
Virgie,
배를 얼마나
go easy on the girl, why don't you?
아,
But
저런 데에서는 보통
I'm
특산
sure they
물건도
sell
내놓을
local
텐데.
delicacies there
술도
too.
있고,
Liquor,
거기서만 맛볼 수 있는
treats not found anywhere else in the city. Rhodia and Don Quixote both shot twinkling glances in my directions. Then at Virgilus, then back at me. Virgilus shrugged. Whatever we decided to do here was none of his business. Well, maybe they can tell us something about the nearby Lobotomy Corps branch. Or maybe they know something about the LCCB agents? Don Quixote was rhythmically swaying her shoulders. Maybe she's trying to imitate the Marlin dance she glimpsed at the party. Allow me to ask thee and thy fine company a few questions! The faintly blaring music was the only response from the ship.
이 음악 때문에 안 들릴
Maybe
수도
they can't
있겠어.
hear us over the music.
에이, 요새 음악은
Boy,
지나치게
music
시끄러워서
these days. They're just too loud for me.
건너가서 물어보고 그렇게 빠르겠어.
It'll be faster if we just head over there and ask them in person. No translation needed. I guess we can quickly stop by and ask them a few questions. We had 3 hours to kill anyway. Might as well make ourselves useful and collect some intel. Ishmael shot a glance at Virgilus before staring at the floor wordlessly. I'd say it's a reckless idea to just row up to a random vessel we don't know anything about, like its owner or its history. But if the executive manager insists...
관리자님이 그렇게 생각하셨다면 네,
Sure,
건너가죠.
let's stop by.
저거는 또
Now
갑자기
that was a very Otis thing to say, isn't it? Hi, Super. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing?
이렇게
It's
하기로
just the
했을
attitude I
뿐이에요.
decided to adopt.
이제
Now, this boat will come in useful.
이건
Will this boat
뒤집어질 염려는
not
없는 것이오.
capsize?
구명조끼나
Should I pack some life
표본은
vests or
안 넣어도
a buoy?
될까요?
By the time all 13 of us squeezed our way in, the skiff was absolutely packed and precautiously swaying. Some of the sinners' faces darkened with concern. Don't worry, guys. Even if you all drown, I'll bring you guys right back. All right as rain. Just kidding.
자,
Right then.
파티에
Drink
취해
responsibly,
너무
everyone.
늦게 돌아오진 말라고.
In a manner that was extremely out of character, Virgilus waved at us. Does he know something that we don't? Yes, he does. Yes. Yes, he does. Virgilus absolutely knows something we don't know. Yes. And he's not telling us, no. No. Because of, why? Why would he? Why would he? We could step into a bear trap he knew exactly. We could step into a bear trap he knew was placed. He knew the degree of its angle and everything, and he just let us walk into it because why not? It's funny. It's funny to him. I still don't see anyone on the deck.
기다려 보시오.
Wait but a moment. I shall make use of my lungs to howl a bellow so powerful that they have no recourse but to heed us. Oh god, please don't. Shut it! You'll burst my eardrums! Oh, thank god.
그런데 이런
By the way,
선상
is it okay for us to just barge into a
우리가 막
yacht party like
괜찮은 거야?
this?
그 뭐냐?
We don't have the
초대장도
invitations or anything like that either.
주눅 들지 마. 그래.
Puff out your chest,
이런 건
Gray.
원래 같이
The more the
즐길수록
merrier,
신나는
right?
거야.
They'll understand.
버티고 나발이고.
I couldn't care less
목표는
about a party.
정보수집이에요.
We're here to gather intel.
헛짓거리하면
Waste
놓고 갈
any more
겁니다.
time and I'm leaving you behind. Wow, this place is really fancy. Numerous liquor bottles and half-eaten food were strewn about haphazardly all over the deck.
바로 직전까지
It appears that this party must have ended very recently and abruptly. Ah! I spy a light shining from the ship's interior! I shall go swiftly like the wind and verify its sources! Don Quixote, running on sheer excitement for a party, scuttled to the cabins.
시끄러운 게 하나
Ugh,
생겼네.
that's one loudmouth gone. Then, Heathcliff slammed his fist into the loudspeaker that's been blaring music this entire time.
아, 이제야 살 것
Blimey!
같네.
Now that's a
이 터지는 줄
relief.
알았어.
Thought my eardrums were about to burst. I decided to remain silent. The music was pretty loud. Well, it's awfully quiet here now that the music's gone.
영썰렁.
그러고 보니
Oh,
지금 상황과
this
비슷한
reminds me of a
이야기가
similar
생각나네요.
story my nanny used to
유머가
tell me.
해준 옛날
It's an
이야기가
old story, but
있었는데.
Don Quixote returns with a dumbfounded expression on her face.
없어.
There was not.
뭐가?
What?
음식?
What was not? Food?
아니면 둘 다?
Drinks? Both? There was no one.
없었어. 그저
Yet, the lights were left on,
불만 켜져
with
있었다는
nary a
것이.
soul to be seen inside.
방금까지 파티가 있었던 게
Ridiculous.
자명한.
It's clear that mere moments ago, a large group of people were having a party on the deck. How could there be no one aboard? For truth! Mayhaps they are busying themselves with a game of hide and seek?
이런 모임에 모임.
Can't imagine that the crowd that left all these liquor bottles behind would be the kind that enjoys playing hide and seek like kids at a party.
그럼
So what?
사라졌다는 건가요?
They just vanished into
여기
thin
사람들이
air?
전부
Like they were... Wait,
그러면
did the waves already...
다른 가능성을 두고
There is one remaining
네,
possibility.
참고가 있겠다.
The ship's storage space.
그런데 파티를
Are
하던
you saying
사람들이
that these party
이
people
모든 음식과
left
술을
all this
남겨두고
uneaten food and
저건
liquor behind just to
사람들이
huddle in a
모여있다고?
cramped storage room?
아,
Oh, I
딱
remember
이런
now.
이야기였어요.
Yes, the story went just like this.
성대한 잔치를
Once, a
한다는
huge
소문을
manor
듣고
sent out
어떤
invitations
집들이
for a grand
들어왔는데
party.
아무도
And when the
보이지
guests
않는다는
arrived, they
거였어요.
found the manor vacant and engulfed in deathly silence.
저희
How about we get the music going again?
라디오
I
작살냈는데
smashed the radio, lad.
이게 파도에 당했던
If this
대만은
ship was struck by the
당장 나가야
waves,
하는데
we have to get out of here. Now.
그런데
Then boom, boom, banging noises came from behind a door, slightly ajar. So of course they went in there to investigate.
들어가 보았더니
And
사람들이 두
And there they were, bodies as stiff as corpses in rigor mortis, arms stretched forward, hopping up and down. Oh, that's I think I'll go check out the storage space.
싱클레어군.
Sinclair, wherefore art thy palms so sodden? It's genetics! Sinclair hurriedly left the room in search of the ship's storage,
추는 춤이
which was the dance that was all the rage back then, apparently. The art of dancing must truly be an art of great profundity.
별 이야기도 아니었잖아.
Oh, that was some
괜히
damn
기대하게
squib.
만들고 말이야.
I thought it was actually going somewhere.
본인은 틀림없이
I had thought with quite
다시 살아
the
움직이는
confidence
시체의
that this
이야기일
would
거라
have been a
생각했어.
tale of the living dead.
괜히 애 겁주기는.
Now, what'd you do that for?
꼬맹이는
You
어디로
scared the kid
도망간 거야?
off! Where'd he go? I'll go find Sinclair. Oh boy. It's pretty dark in here. The hallway to the storage was significantly narrower than the party deck. I had nothing but faint, occasionally flashing lights to guide me through this dark hallway. I decided to proceed carefully. Seriously, this place is way creepier than wherever Hung Lu was going with his story. Sinclair? You there? I wasn't sure where these water droplets were falling from, but they were really getting on my nerves. I don't see anything here. Not that I could in this dark. Even if there were, all I could see is a very faint ray of light. And... Sinclair? And Sinclair. Seems to me he's been standing here for a good while. Exactly how long, I wasn't sure. Sinclair stood there, still like death. He looked up. What are you looking at? Now that I'm in here, I noticed that there was something funny about the ray of light. I assumed that the light I saw was from a lamp or something, but no, it was just there, surrounding the general area where Sinclair stood. There was no light source, so the light shining in from the outside, maybe? No, that doesn't make sense either. We're deep in the ship's storage. A big metal box with no opening for even a single strand of natural light. Besides, it's nighttime. This is getting more and more bizarre by the second. Where's this light coming from? Sinclair, we gotta get out of here! Run! Now! Come on! Fear of the unknown intensifies. What I saw defied every bit of common sense I had accumulated from over the journey. I had to get Sinclair out of there. I snatched and tugged at his limp wrist. Come on! Wake up! That seemed to have done the trick. Sinclair suddenly snapped back to reality and began screaming. He bolted out of the room. Huh? The lads lost the plot! What in the bloody... There was a person floating in the... Oh, I cannot say that. There was a person floating in the air. A person in the air floating. Someone was up there, just suspended in the air.
이거 진짜 무서운
Okay, now I'm actually creeped out.
사람
That can't be
리가 없죠.
a person.
그럼
Then, that was...
네, 설명할 시간이
What?
있나요? 당장
You
물에
think we had
들어요.
enough time for a lecture? Prepare for battle. Okay, so we don't have to do that, but we'll do this one, since this is a post-battle.
흥미로운 일이 벌어지면 좋겠어요.
Spooky.
폭들을 제거하겠소.
Formerly human, now transformed into monsters.
폭들을 제거하겠소.
찢어진 톱같이 흐느적거리는구만.
해보기는 할게요. 안 되면 어쩔 수 없지만요. 늘 새롭다니까요.
Oh, killing these guys reduces our SP.
자세가 무너져. 다음 배가
Oof.
타겟 무력화.
폭의 거울은 깨졌소.
해보기는 할게요. 안 되면 어쩔 수 없지만요.
찢어진 톱같이 흐느적거리는구만.
알려주지.
재밌는 순간이에요.
Dratini?
금방 다녀올게.
Dritch would be beside himself since he's missing out on that.
별것도 아니네. 별것도 아니네.
타겟 무력화.
여친 나교카오.
타겟 무력화.
싹 다 정리해버렸네. 아, 이러면 돈이 덜 나오는데. 아,
The cruise
남자 지갑 좀
party.
볼까?
So, they were mermaids.
아마 파티에
Yeah.
너무 열중한 나머지
Whoever sailed on the ship,
규칙을 지키는 걸
they were probably too
잊어버렸겠죠.
distracted by the party to
그래서-
realize that they broke a law of the lake. So they ended up getting devoured by a whale. And this deserted ship is the aftermath.
우리 배가 규칙을
Even
어기지
if we were to
않았어도
stick every
규칙을 어겨
single
파도에
law of the
덮쳐진
lake,
다른 배와
depending on
얽힌다면
its type of waves,
어떤 파도냐에
getting
따라서
too close to a ship that
덩달아서
broke
피해를 볼
the
수
law
있어요.
could get us swept up in the aftermath. Their single lapse of judgment led to this chilling catastrophe. I remembered Ishmael looking into the lake, muttering to herself. I also remembered the rough, biting words she threw at us. This was the reality of the Great Lake that Ishmael survived before joining us. A place where even the smallest mistake could mean total annihilation. A place where one must struggle endlessly to survive the terribly unknown. So this was the kind of path Ishmael sailed before joining us. If only I'd known, then maybe I could have been more understanding of her. I keep going back to my quarrel with Ishmael back at the boatworks. I can't stop thinking about it.
내려온 인어들은 처리했지.
We have dispatched the mermaids that descended onto the deck,
저것이 이제
but lingering
우리를
any
노리려 될
longer
것이다.
may draw the rest of them to us.
파티는 끝났다.
This party is
복귀하도록
over.
하지.
Let us return to our ship. We left the cruise ship as fast as we could. After an indeterminate amount of time. So we didn't find anything. I made the wrong call. I shouldn't have made such a rash decision.
됐어요.
It's okay.
살아남았으면.
At least we're still alive. And that was that. Ishmael didn't say more.
그래도 물정을 지킬 수 있었어.
Dear Treat! Hi, Pokey! Welcome to the stream. It is fortunate, however, that we procured ourselves some ration for the journey ahead.
어이,
Hey!
상에
The radar's caught
아까는
something.
잡히지 않았던 커다란 것이
It's
잡혔다.
large. That is
하필
very
중앙과
close to the center of the
편들이 가깝네요.
coordinates.
그렇다면 이
Then that
점이
dot on the radar has to be
21구의
the lobotomy core branch of District 21.
잠깐
I'm
밖에서
going
바람
out
좀
for some
쐬고
air.
올게요.
Ishmael slowly returned to the spot by the ship's railing where she stood muttering to herself. For a moment, I wondered if I should follow her like I did earlier, but maybe she wanted some time alone to think about things. I decided to leave her be. Get your shit together.
자꾸 감정을
Bury your
내쫓아서
feelings for them.
내 단 하나의
I have a
목표를
mission I
이루기로 했잖아.
must see through to the
작사를
end.
그렇게
My
갈아놨는데
one and only mission. I've sharpened my harpoon for that singular moment.
더
I have to be colder, harsher.
나에게는
I have a mission that I can't fail.
그걸 방해하는
And
건
if anything even dares to
방해가
stand in my
될 만한
way,
것들은
ow. Such a stable lass, wouldn't you say? Oh boy. Oh boy. The Calamity. There it is.
우리의
Our
목적지.
destination, the
유사
lobotomy core
로봇
branch of
지구.
U-Core.
파일럿이가
You think
말씀하신
they're still there? The
생존자분들
survivors pilot mentioned?
안전하게 살 수 있는
Unless
시간은 충분하오.
aught has transpired since then, we still have time aplenty. As Sinclair and Yi Sing shared their thoughts, the large structure loomed ever closer, out of the mist and into our line of sight. Oh, creepy. Every sinner, save for Ryoshu, froze.
그러니까
That's the
저게-
lobotomy core branch?
좌표 범위에서
We are as
한없이
close
중앙에
as it can
가까울 뿐더러
physically possibly be
전달받은
to the center
정보와
of the
크기가
area
일치하는 것을
delineated
보아서는
by the
그렇습니다.
coordinates. The structure's size and appearance match the intel we received as well. Huh. The sight was enough to shut everyone up. To hope that there may be any survivors in the structure was far too optimistic a notion for what appeared before us.
흰 물체들의 사이로
I observed the lobotomy core
오퍼레이션의 모양을
branch
확인할 수
between the white materials.
그럼
So that's
진짜로
really only the smeared logo of the lobotomy core's branch glistened amidst mounds of pallid, blasphemous white. This was an undeniable reality we found ourselves in.
대체 무슨 일을
What the
겪은
hell happened here?
파일럿 씨의
Pilot said that the
이야기대로
last thing that the Twin
쌍갈고리
Hook pirates
해적단원들이
said before
이곳을
leaving
떠나기
this
전
place
마지막으로
was,
남긴 재앙이 오고
"The
있다."
calamity is
였었나요?
coming." Wasn't it?
우리가
This
일을
sight
시작한 지
summons to
얼마
my
되지
mind
않았을 적의 일이
memories from the
생각나는구려.
earlier days of this company.
이런
The manner in which organic tissues are plastered over the walls is quite reminiscent of that experience. Ugh, back at the D-Core branch, right? I hope there's no poison gas traps or anything like that in here.
당시에는 배신자가
At
있었던
D-Core,
것뿐이다.
there was a traitor in our
이번
midst.
상황과 비교하면
Thus, it would be
적합한
false
비교군이 아니다.
equivalent to use that experience to gauge the intensity of this mission. Yeah, I
상황은
don't think it'll be much
더
better here,
심해지 덜하지
if not
않을 것
worse.
그럼
Then, Pilot's team is already...
동료분들은
인어가 되진 않았어.
We should consider them lucky if they haven't been turned into mermaids. So the calamity was... The calamity that Pilot mentioned didn't destroy the lobotomy core branch. It transformed this place into something uncanny, something so grotesque that total obliteration would have been preferable to whatever happened here.
세상에
Well, destruction isn't the only kind of
다양한
calamity in
형태의
this world.
있기 마련이니까. 이
The Great
대호수에서
Lake is home to 5
5가지
calamities.
재앙이 존재한다.
Well, 4 now, I suppose.
이제는 내기려나. 무슨 뜻이?
Whatever do you mean?
뜻은
I meant that
차차 알게 될
you'll
거다.
find out soon enough.
재앙은
It
아무리
won't
조심하고
matter how
피하려
careful
해도
you are.
찾아오는 법이야.
The Great Lakes, the
그것들은
calamities will
규칙대로
always
움직이지
find
않아도
you.
되는 힘을
The
가져서
laws of the Great
불현듯
Lake
찾아오는
doesn't
거야.
apply to them, making it impossible to predict their patterns.
지금은
And
그
now's the time to
재앙이란
row your
기구가
way
지옥
into the ruins the calamity
직접
left behind.
물을 저어 들어갈 시간이고 로보토미
Take
지구는
the skiff to the
바로
lobotomy
옆
core
호수에
branch.
족배를
It's on the
타고
lake
가도록.
adjacent to this one.
만일의 상황을
I'll be keeping my
나는
distance
이
and watching from
호수에서
this lake,
거리를 두고
just in case of
대기하고
emergency.
있도록 하지.
Isn't that exactly why you should be coming with us? Who knows what the guide bud's thinking, eh? After a quick tinkering with Faust, the skiff tied to the side of Mephistopheles began its slow descent. It's the same skiff we used to get to the cruise ship.
입에는 여러모로 자주
We're getting
쓰게
a lot of
되네요.
use out of this boat.
조망만 해서
I still don't trust
아까도
this dinghy.
그랬지만 영
It's
믿었지
too
않단
small.
말이지.
The small engine on the skiff revved gently, and our short, sputtering journey to the lobotomy core's branch began. Are lakes
호수에는
usually
원래
this foggy?
안개가 많이
The
끼나요?
lake earlier was pretty
아까
misty
호수도
too.
그렇고.
주의하는 것이 좋겠어.
We must remain vigilant.
안개 속에서
Fogged up
갑작스레
horizons are
나타나는
climate
것은
quite
모험의
ripe
기본
for an
공식이니.
ambush. Forsooth, 'tis the #1 rule of adventuring tales. There was a growing sense of trepidation among the sinners as we climbed to the pale membrane-enveloped stairs leading up to the lobotomy core branch.
어때 단테?
Hey Dante,
방금
can
그지?
you Sense
느껴져?
it? The golden bough? Not yet. You
확실해.
sure about that? Rhodia was visibly disappointed. Maybe she was half hoping that I'd tell her that the golden bough was here, so we shouldn't turn around and head back to Mephistopheles.
이런 데
I
올
know I'm not
때마다 내가
of the
유난
worry
떠는 것
one of the
같긴
team
하지만
whenever we gotta check out places like
이번엔
this,
좀 더
but
기분이 안
I have a
좋단
bad
말이지.
feeling about this, guys. The closer we got to the entrance, the more reluctant the Sitter's gates became. As though they were growing increasingly wary that some unseen enemy could ambush them at any second.
뭐 하자는 거죠?
What's the holdup?
안 갈 건가요?
Aren't you coming?
너는
Don't you feel it?
아무렇지 않은 거야?
This dread. I
우리가
thought it would
느끼는
affect you
감각.
the most. You're the one who
오히려 너같이
spent
호수에
years on
익숙한
the lake
사람이라면
after all.
더 강하게 느끼곤 하지 않아?
그래서 안 갈
So?
건가요?
That's what's stopping you?
야,
It's...
안 갈 사람은
Wait by the
여기에서
entrance if you're
기다리던가요.
not going.
아저씨,
What did you
한참
expect,
전부터
mate?
저 자식은 말이
I've
안
given up
들었었는데
talking sense into her a
뭘
while
기대하나?
ago.
좀
I thought she
식구가
gotten a
바뀐 것
bit more
같아서
cooperative as of late.
착각이 없네.
Guess I was wrong.
가긴
Well,
가야지.
we do have to go. Ishmael appeared to be the only sinner uninterested in the golden bough. The golden bough. The unfathomable, bone-chilling horrors of the lake. I was starting to believe that she considered all of that nothing but obstacles between her and her mission.
건물 전체를 덮고 있는
What
이
may
흰색
be
점막
this
같은
pale
건 무엇이오?
mucus membrane covering the entirety of this structure? Some kind of mold, maybe?
걸까요?
뭐
IF.
Queen of Hatred real joined the herd. Give them some dear treats.
Welcome to the herd, Queen of Hatred. Well, I hope you enjoy yourself amongst us. Thank you for joining us.
균류라고 하기에
To identify it as a fungi would require it to exhibit characteristics unlike the ones we observed here. Stay hydrated. Yep, let me get something to drink real quick. Let me see what we got. Yep, I got some water right here. Honestly, some water over some soda would be nice. So thank you.
내가 봐도
I agree.
균류의
They do not
형태는
appear
보이지
to be fungi.
오히려
In fact,
살아있는 생체
they appear to be made of organic,
혈관이 마구잡이로 생긴 것
living
같은 느낌.
flesh tissue. See the blood vessels here? They've grown into random shapes without purpose or intent.
어이가 없군.
Ridiculous.
이렇게
I'm surrounded by IF.
들이 많나. 무슨 의미지?
What do you mean?
혼돈에서 피어난
Art
작품에
relents
패턴이 있을
on the
거라고
chaos of
보나.
existence, cannot create patterns such as these.
전체를 바라
Look at the
멈춰.
big picture, fool.
전체를 생각한다면
Gazing upon the big picture,
이렇게 필요치
I only
않은
see a
방면으로 힘만
pointless
빼는 것이 더 불필요해 보이는구려.
disputation that does not but waste our vigor.
그대들도
You do
멈출
not intend to
생각은
stall,
아니지
no?
않은가?
See thither.
저기
Ishmael already
이스마엘이여,
walks at a far distance
이미
away from
저만큼
us.
갔다네.
The Whaler. Pre-battle. Don Quixote had stopped dead in her tracks. She was looking blankly at a section of the wall.
흥미로운 거라도 발견한
See
거야,
anything
고객님?
interesting, kiddo?
여기
Here,
벽에
in the wall. Huh?
사람이 들어있어.
There is a person in this wall.
모형
Maybe it's a
아니야?
sculpture?
모형이 이렇게나
If there is
생동감을
anyone
가질 수
capable of
있다면
sculpting something so true
내가
to
무릎을
life as
꿇고
this,
제자로 드리려고
I'll drop
하겠어.
everything and plead the artist to take me as their student. No! Are they the people Pilate was looking for?
잠시만요.
이보시오.
Hark! Heed were my words!
대체 거기에
Why the
말을 왜
heck
거는
would you
거야?
talk like... Why the heck would you talk to it?
이것 보시오.
Behold! This man is alive! Oh,
진짜
this is the
나
worst.
이렇게 소화 안
This
되는
is the
기분 느끼는 거
absolute
오랜만이야.
worst. It's making me real queasy.
이보게들.
Hark, my friends! This man is alive! We must free him from this bond post haste!
그러고 싶어도
Even if we wanted
이미
to,
늦은 것 같기도
it's like
하네요.
it's a bit late for him.
잘라내지 않고
Total
꺼내놓은
disassembly
방법이
is
있나
the only
싶은데.
way I see it ever getting out of here.
뭐라?
What?
뭐
Well, by now we should be getting used to these failures.
단단히 벽에 박혀
The
있다.
body is firmly
일반적인
lodged into the
피부는
walls.
분리조차도
No
어렵다.
ordinary human strength could separate his body from it.
하지만 일반적이지 않은
With superhuman
힘으로는
strength, you risk
반드시
tearing the
이들의
body to
형체가
several
부서진다.
parts.
용서할 수 없는
Fee, this is an evil that
소행이로군.
cannot go unanswered.
억지로 쑤셔넣은
Impressive.
흔적은 없어 보이는.
There's no sign of anyone forcing it into the walls.
아주
This is
자연스럽게
quite a
전시되어
natural
있고
exhibit,
원래 이렇게 태어났던 것처럼 말이지.
as though this was how it was conceived from the very beginning.
이번에야말로
We thought,
구할
I
수
thought
있을
it would be
거라고
different this time.
약속까지
We
했는데
made a promise, gave our word. Unlike the other sinners, Ishmael didn't even spare a glance to those that were trapped within the walls.
관리자님,
Manager,
저것들을
staring at them
쳐다보고
won't
있다고
magically
방금
summon the
가지가
golden
나타나는
bow
것도
to your
아닌데
palms. Say
전진하자고
something
말씀
so
좀
we can get a
하시죠.
move on. I guess there's nothing we can do for them. Still.
저는 누누이
And I've
말했어요.
said it repeatedly that I
쓸데없이 시간을
don't want
쏟고
to
싶지
waste
않다고.
time.
이곳에선
We don't
호수의
have to
규칙을
worry
신경
about the
쓰지
laws of
않아도
the
될
lake
텐데.
here, so why don't we
좀더
make this
느긋하게
a
가도
more leisurely?
둘러봐도 역시
Sure, look around
아무도
all you
없는 게
want,
확실할 테니까요.
but you won't find any survivors here.
여기
A testament against thy claim is right here!
살아있는
Those
척하는
things aren't really
것들이잖아요.
alive. They're only pretending to be.
하면
Yet,
이건 아무리
I
봐도
recognize
그것이고
these.
그것이
They're
지나간
ruin
자리에
left behind by
멀쩡한
the
사람이
thing.
있을 리 없고
The thing that leaves nothing unchanged in its wake.
그것은
It could swallow the world in a
순식간에
blink of an
모든 걸
eye,
집어삼키기도 하지만
but it also spews it back out as
뱉어내기도
just as
하죠.
quickly.
그리고
And what it spews
그렇게
out
토해내는 것은
never comes back right.
결코 온
Isn't it funny? If it's going
웃기잖아요.
to spew it out anyway, what's the
그렇게
point of
뱉어낼
devouring
거면
it in the first place?
애초에 왜 마주하는
I
온갖
don't
것을 다
understand.
삼키려고
Why does it
하는지
try to devour everything it comes across? Are you talking about the same whale you mentioned before?
그 어떤 모험담에도
In no tales of
그런
adventures
어마무시한
have
고래에
I
대한 이야기는
heard
없었어.
one mention of such a
정말
terrifying
돌아가는
whale. Is it truly a whale?
그러게
Then why didn't you listen
준비가
when I
더
told
필요하다고
all
말할
of
때
you
듣지
that we
그랬어요.
weren't ready?
적어도
If you did,
마음가짐이라도
at
달린
least we
것일 텐데.
could have been in the right headspace for the lake. But no. So you're saying that whale you met devoured this building?
네,
Yes. How can you be sure of that?
그 고래가 지나온 모든
Because
길은
this pale ruin is what that whale leaves behind.
하얀 모습으로
Everything turns
뒤덮이니까요.
pallid, like this building.
거수자 발견.
I have visual on a suspicious individual.
환상체일까요?
Maybe it's an abnormality?
여기가
We're in a lobotomy core
집인
branch after
만큼
all.
그래.
Yeah.
차라리
Let's just say
환상체라고
that's what
생각하고
it is
다
and chop it
썰어버리는 게
down.
낫겠다.
Wait.
잠깐,
Wait a minute.
잠깐만요.
I might be a survivor.
생존자일 수... 뭐지?
Well, didn't you say
이
there
안에
will
인간은
be
남아있을
any
리
survivors
없다
left
하잖아.
here? Which is it?
그래서
I did.
더 놀라워서
And that's why
그래요.
it's so incredible.
어이!
Hey! Ishmael! You shouldn't get too close to... Ishmael strides towards the figure.
이스마엘 씨가
Maybe she's being mind controlled by the abnormality?
정신적인 것에 당하시...
그런 징후는 없었다.
No such signs have been
저자의
detected.
눈빛은
There's
지극히
nothing out of the
평소와
ordinary in her eyes. The closer Ishmael gets, the more of the figure's body is taken over by pallid, off-white membrane. The voice grows increasingly incoherent.
말도 안 돼.
That's impossible.
분명
Just now,
가끔까지
it was talking
사람의 말을
like
하고
a
있었어.
human. Ishmael?
봤잖아요.
You saw it too!
분명
Just now it... Ishmael, you have to get away from... No. This can't be real.
이럴 리가 없어.
If what I've known my whole life about this place is about the Great Lake. She is experiencing heightened emotions. Damn it, Ishmael! I could have asked one of the sinners to stop her, but before I can even realize what I was doing, I was running toward Ishmael. I think it was guilt that pushed me to act. Guilt that I may have played a part in driving Ishmael to this point.
단테,
Dante,
그대가
you
나서서는-
mustn't! Oh. But the guilt can sometimes help. The figure's face shifted again when I approached Ishmael. The white membrane covering their face begins to withdraw, as though an unseen force is peeling it off the skin. The mouth didn't come back, but the eyes were looking at us. But the eyes that looked at us were unmistakably human-shaped. They were blinking with effort.
되돌아왔어.
The membrane is gone?
관리자님이 가까이
This.
다가가니까
When you approached it, this
사라졌어.
damned white membrane, it faded!
망할.
황금 가지에 의한
It appears that the golden bough
중화작용으로
is
보이는군요.
counteracting its effects. Faust approached us.
단테 씨의 머릿속에
Dante
있는
appeared.
그
It
황금
appears that
가지의
the shard of
조각은
the golden bough lodged in your clock
무력할지라도
is counteracting the
이 백화
infection of
현상을
this
중화시키는 효과가 있는
palidification
것
effect
같습니다.
to a degree. The figure, whose mouth was still wrapped under a pallid membrane, blinks warily, as though they could understand what we were saying.
중화.
Counteracting?
아니,
Wait,
그럼
so with the golden bough,
황금 인어가
a mermaid can... a mermaid can turn back into a human?
다시 사람으로
Is that
돌아올
what
수
you're
있다고
saying? Did I get that
그런
right?
말을 하는 거죠?
Faust?
지-
Well, that theory has not
검증은
been properly
되진
cross-examined.
가능성.
Just tell me if it's possible. Though it was curt, I've never heard of such an intense desperation in her voice before. Yes,
네.
although it may be
적어도 이곳을
limited
먹고
to
지나갔다고 추정되는
mermaids of the
고래의
whale that
인어들은
presumably devoured this
돌아올 수
structure.
있다고 판단됩니다.
Manager, Jante,
관리자.
just what are you?
꾸역꾸역.
realizing that there was something
밀어넣으려고
that I
노력했던
could have done.
그날의
The
기억에
memories of that day, the nightmare that I tried so hard to
해결법이
lock away,
있었을 거라는 자꾸만
they're coming back right before my
눈앞에서
eyes.
그려지잖아요. 저 고래에게
I can see them
돌려버린 채로
vomited from that whale,
가라앉거나
sinking, floating into the briny sea. All of them.
Ishmael looked at me with a vacant expression.
당신에겐 들리는 거죠?
You hear it too, don't you?
그날의 파도 소리가
You hear how the waves roared that day. Ishmael was right. Emotions of the past begin flooding, roaring before me. Ishmael. She stands alone in a sea of tall, rolling waves. I nodded, carefully. Once,
저는
I was a
항해사였죠.
seafarer,
해결사기도
a fixer, a sailor.
뱃사람이기도 했고 그런 안진뱅이
I was something in that awkward middle ground,
고래잡이라고
which we called
불렀어요.
whalers.
아세요?
Do you understand?
아니
No. Do you see them?
보이세요? 모든 걸 걸고
Do you see the looks of the faces of those who dared to wager
걸
everything,
것이 남아있지
and
않은
those who had
사람들이
nothing
있어서
left to wager?
그것들을 태우고
Whaling ships carrying people
파도를 가르는 게
like them across the waves. So, you've seen it yourself. The whale that devoured this place?
지금까지 우리가
The
만났던
whales
고래들은
we've met so far
사람을
transformed
삼키면
those they
아예
devoured
자신의
into
것을
something completely
재구성하여
different,
바뀌게 만들죠.
into something utterly unrecognizable from who they were before by rearranging and replacing their body.
하지만
But that whale
그 고래는
is different.
그 창백한 고래의
Those devoured by the
손가락을
pallid whale aren't
하얀
transformed.
마개만
They're still
감싸진 채
themselves,
모두
just
그
wrapped
형태가
up,
온전하게
wrapped in a
남아있었어요.
pale membrane. I guess it's a stretch to say that they're still themselves.
외곽을 향해 길을
Sometimes
조종할 때가
we'd sail our
반드시
ship
있죠.
toward the outskirts. There, we see those ships,
온전한 척하는
those
배들이
false
바다에
ships,
떠있죠. 성체
the ships that have turned completely pallid.
고래잡이 사이에선
It's an odd
그런 배를
wisdom
만나면
among whalers
호수를 이리저리
that those
돌아가는
ships
한이
must be
있더라도
avoided at all
반드시
costs,
피하라는 이야기가
even if it's meant going
전설처럼
all the
전해지죠.
way around the lake therein.
그 배는
Because the
원래
sailors
타고
consumed
있던
by that
선원이
whale
가지고
retain
있던
everything,
습성이나
their habits,
능력은 바뀌지
their
않은 채
skills,
그저
except they
호수를
wander the
돌아다니는
lake only
다른
to
것들을
attack
습격하는
everything they
것이
come across.
목적입니다.
The captain of the
쿼드호의 선장에
Prequad,
있던 자가 있어요.
our ship,
그자의 목표가
she had a
그거였죠.
mission to hunt that pallid whale with her own
그
two
천박한 고래
hands.
그 안에서 생활하는
The entire
내내
time we sailed on the
그자는
Prequad,
그 고래를
she
잡아내는
summarized
것이
our
얼마나
ears off
가치 있고
about what a
대단한 일인지
worthy, honorable
설교를
mission it was to
늘어났죠.
hunt that whale.
귀가 따갑기도
It was it was
제자가
annoying,
제정신이 아니라는
and we
것도
knew
알 수
she wasn't
있었죠.
exactly all there. But,
아니지.
no, maybe she just
어쩌면
knew how to sink
우리를
the rest of
미치게 하는
us
방법을
to the depths of her
정확하게 알고
insanity.
있던 걸지도 모르겠네요. 어느새 우리도
Her mission
그
soon became
창백한
our
고래를
very
잡는
own.
것만이
To hunt that
인생의
pallid whale
유일한
became our
구원이자
salvation,
숙명이
our
되었죠.
destiny.
배 안에
That
모두를
captain
미쳐버리게
drove
만든
everyone
거예요.
on that ship mad.
그 결국 우리는
When the time finally came to face that whale,
그 고래를
the
마주하게
whale
된
from
거.
which all hatred, all evils of the world spout, we were promptly crushed,
처참하게 부서져.
devoured, reduced to scattering pile of driftwood.
차가운
When I came to, floating in the vast coldness of the sea, holding on to my dear life to a piece of driftwood,
눈앞에는
there was nothing left.
아무것도 남지
Nothing.
않았어요. 붙잡고 있던
And when I
것이
realized what I was holding onto wasn't a piece of driftwood,
도막이 아니었다는 걸
but
깨닫고서 그래서 용서가 되지
that's why I can never forgive her. At a certain point, this stopped being a conversation. Ishmael's words grew increasingly aimless, like a vortex of the sea, endlessly whirling in place. Now, it was clear what Ishmael's mission was, where the tip of her razor-sharp harpoon aimed. It was aimed at the captain that drove them all to damnation. An overwhelming tide of hatred and obsession burned fiercely in her direction.
반드시
I'm going to kill her
내 손으로
with my own two hands.
죽여야만 해요.
There was no room for reason or rationality to convince her otherwise. I suppose bringing up that I saw from Ishmael's obsession, a glimpse of her old captain won't do anything to help right now. Ishmael, we don't even know if that captain is still alive.
내가
I was
모든 걸
desperately
나누었던
hanging on
동물의
to my
관짝을
best
붙잡고
mate's coffin. The
살아남아
coffin of
있을 때
someone with whom I'd shared everything. That's when I, through the tempest, saw the captain.
마지막까지 그
I saw
새끼는
that effer, standing alone,
엉켜가는
facing down the
배
whale
안에서
as it devoured her ship.
혼자 그것과
laughing
맞서
mad.
싸우면서 그렇게 목숨
Her
바쳐
fiercely
따르던
loyal crew
선원들을
were floating on the surface of the
바다와
outskirts
외곽
sea,
위를 떠다니며
powerless to
먹혀가는데
do anything but wait until they too were devoured. But none of that mattered to her.
그놈은
That bastard is
살아있어요.
alive.
살아있을
She
수밖에
has to be
없어.
alive still. She has to be.
살아있어야만 해. 그러니까
So, I have to find
찾아야
her.
해.
We
우리는
have to. Not
그
before
선장을
we
죽일
kill the
때까지.
captain. Ishmael. I wanted to ask her which we she was referring to, but I was starting to think that nothing I say would improve anything if it didn't outright bring everything crashing down. That was what an imperceivable light breeze broke through the silence. A solitary butterfly. It moved with grace tinged with fragility, as though it did not fear the weight of this heavy silence. It took a moment to gently flutter onto a puddle.
나비네요.
That is a butterfly. You
보통의
think any
나비가 이런
ordinary
곳을
butterfly
날아다니고
would
있을
wander into a
거라고
place like
생각하나?
this? After a quick respite, the butterfly fluttered its wings and took off once more.
마치
It's like
따라오라는
the
것
butterfly was
같아요.
asking us to follow.
한 상체가
Is it
코피도
an
안 보이더니
abnormality?
드디어 나타난 거야?
Finally. I was wondering when they'd show their ugly mugs. It might be a trap, but we're lost. It's the only thing with any sense of direction we have at the moment.
찬성하겠소.
I am in agreement.
나 개인에게
I am also quite intrigued by the butterfly.
이들은 계속
What do you think they are
무슨 말을 하는
saying?
걸까요? 뭐라 하고
I have
있지는
been
않았어.
leading them. I have been lending
네,
them
듣고
my
있었구나.
ear, yet none has yet to reach me.
일정한 규칙성을
They
띠고
are
있긴
speaking
하지만
in a certain pattern,
해석은
though I am
불가능하군요.
unable to decipher it.
일종의 부호 같은
It is a
느낌이죠.
code of sorts, a
음파와
mix of
암호
sound
패턴의
frequencies and
체계를
encrypted
활용하고
patterns.
있으니까요.
Ah. Don Quixote was at the far back end of the line, looking back at the figure. I suppose
관리자 나리와 꼭
it is true
붙어
that
있지
without
않으면
Manager Esquire,
해결되지 않을
there'd be no
일이었던
resolution to thy predicament. When I walked away, the pallid membrane grew over the face again, burying it. And it began to shamble. Is it as Ismail said? Will they now roam the Great Lake, attacking everyone and everything they come across? Not only their physical senses, but their sense of self, forgotten deep under the pallid membrane. And then we fight the corrupted. Is this pre or post? This is post. Okay, we'll fight this one.
직접 손봐주지.
One second, guys.
금방 다녀올게.
Hew. I shake Lupin. I shake Lupin. I shake Lupin. I'm shaking him. Everyone, help me shake Lupin real quick.
두드려 패고 터뜨려 주지.
Whew.
두드려 패고
I'm
터뜨려
dizzy
주지.
now. Did you drink some fairy wine? Is that why you're dizzy? Lupin, you're not supposed to drink the fairy wine.
자세가 무너져. 다음에 배를 날려주지.
겨우 이 정도야.
바람구멍을 내주지.
Oof.
가gen 무력.
하나 가져간다.
해보기는 할게요. 안 되면 어쩔 수 없지만요.
Whirlwind.
찢어진 것같이 찢어진 것같이 하나자가
두드려 패고 터뜨려 주지.
겨우 이 정도야.
재밌는 순간이에요. 재밌는 순간이에요.
I have no idea why I'm so tired.
두드려 패고 터뜨려 주지.
폭의 거울은 깨졌어. 폭의 거울은 깨졌어.
Perhaps it's a caffeine crash.
자세가 무너져. 다음에 배를 날려주지.
별것도 아니네. 싹 다 정리해버렸네. 아, 이러면 돈이 덜 나오는데. 아,
Bum, bum,
내
bum,
지갑
bum,
좀 볼까?
bum. Post battle.
점점
The mermaids.
인어들의 숫자가
I think there's
적어지고
less of them
있어.
now. Someone stood there, waiting for us. He must have arrived here much earlier than we have. Quite the arduous journey you've endured. The butterfly we were following folded its wings and settled gently into his sloshing head. The figure's voice was clear and precise, unlike that of the mermaids, and not like an abnormality. I didn't expect to find an unharmed survivors. No, wait, is he a distortion? Oi, Clockhead, you friends with that ballhead? A distortion? Like that Bing Bong's bar and Friar's owner from earlier? I see that many of you are rather flummoxed by my appearance. This is but one of the many ways one may choose to understand the journey that is this world. So please do not be so wary. Oh, thy head splishes and splashes so. Under the night sky, where the stars have gone out, I await the coming dawn. Call me Reem. We're not here to introduce ourselves, so why don't we cut to the chase? Explain yourself. You must have some reason for coming to this mad mermaid-infested place. And we didn't see any other boat than our own by the docks of this structure. So explain how you... I have no need of ships, should I wish to cross the ocean. I am simply here to have a look at all of you. Wow! We're really starting to put our name out there. You are those who followed the bow's golden ray. Okay, if you're here to see us, knowing what we're looking for... No way. Are you about to tell us where the golden bow is? Huh. Isn't it obvious that he's here to stop us from... Yes, indeed I am. Man, I'm really off my game. To seek the bow within this structure is to understand the futility of time. I still can't sense the golden bow this deep into the branch. There was a truth to what he said. The bow was no longer here. Then to where must we journey? I am certain that you are already aware that there are parties other than your own that are interested in the bows. You have surrendered one to them after toiling for it, in fact. How do you know that? The whale, once fated to roam the outskirts for all eternity, is now drawn by the same incandescent, gilded calling. You're saying that the whale came from the outskirts, all the way to the great lake of Eucor, for the golden bow? Quite, and swallowed the structure whole with that delicate bow. The abnormalities here have also left with that magnificent, yet fragile whale, drawn by the same calling. What you seek is no longer to be found here. Excuse me, why are you sharing this information with us? It matters not who lays claim upon the golden bow, and to what ends they use it. It is no more than a mere fluttering of wings. We simply seek to steer the echoes of that fluttering toward a better direction. We? Who are you talking about? We are those who watch all, those who abide the time, those will be sovereigns of a star. Yet we are those who cannot all embody the same star. A red mark briefly flashed on his head. I've seen that mark before. Those who watch, you say. Yisheng shot a silent gaze in Rhyme's direction. Reem. Have you also watched the breaking of the League then? Have you any idea of what fate has befallen our old fellows? I do. Yet you have done not but observe. Is he one of your old friends, you say? A part of my life that you have witnessed afore. One of those who left when the League of Nine scattered onto the winds.
내게는
You have last
바다로
uttered to
간다
me that you would
이야기하였노라.
journey to the ocean. Yet. Indeed, I was one of them. Once. I shall answer your question, he sang. You asked whether I have done naught but watch? That is a question born of vacuity. For you, the League is dead, yet for some its death was but a beginning. I am certain that you are well aware of that yourself. When does something end? When does something begin? The distinction is arbitrary and signifies naught. The shattering of the League was a beginning for brother Young Ji as well.
그래,
I see.
그대는
You have
일찌감치
casted it aside long
내다버렸다는
time
것이지.
ago. My eyes were simply opened to the stem of this world. The singular yet all-important stem. Once your eyes are open to it, everything else becomes as hollow as the fall of wilted petals.
이거 하나만 대답해
Now I
주세요.
just need to know one thing.
당신의 말대로
If the golden bough is
이곳에
inside the
숨긴
whale
고래가
that devoured this
황금
place,
가지를 먹었다면
and if the golden boughs can
그리고
really
이 백화 현상에
somehow counteract the
더러워지는 게
palification
맞다면
effects. Ishmael's breathing was quick and light. She couldn't finish her sentence. It can be said that indeed, what you believe, what you wish to be true is correct.
그렇군요.
I see. I hope I have been a useful signpost to you all.
또
To
어디론가
where do you seek
다름아닌가.
to depart again? I was once a mere pond, who only knew where the sea, the rivers, and the city were. Now I seek to reach there with my wings. That is all.
잠깐.
Stop right
그런
there.
정보를 아는 놈을
You know too
호락호락
much.
보내줄 것 같은가?
Think we're about to let you leave just like that? Pity. Try as you might to hold me now. I float betwixt your fingers. Well then. With that, he stepped into the puddle and disappeared into its depths. Imagine being able to transport yourself through puddles of water. How interesting. Pallid bipeds began to fill the void Reem left behind.
저자의 영향으로 인해
It can be deduced that it was his influence that kept the mermaids at bay.
어째서였을까?
But why?
이성이 휘발되어도
I can only theorize that their primal sense of certain ebbs and flows of energy remained even as their reason eroded. You're saying that he scared them off or something? Sinclair, on his forehead, there was...
네,
Yeah. The one who bisected Cromer with a flick of his wrist. The one who silently approached me to talk. I remember the one mark with the bright red sign. Okay, since that was pre-battle, we can just move on. And this one's post-battle, so we're gonna fight this one.
흥미로운 일이 벌어지면 좋겠어요.
금방 다녀올게.
휴휴휴.
곡들을 제거하겠소.
찢어진 것같이 흐느적거리는구나.
금방 다녀올게.
팔 하나 가져간다. 별것도 아니야.
가게 무력.
별것도 아니네.
진 낙엽하오.
한 건 했다. 맛있는 거 준비해줘, 단테.
바람구멍을 내주지.
How's everyone enjoying the new Canto?
별것도 아니네.
Are you guys enjoying the Great Lakes?
낙엽하오.
겨우 이 정도야. 금방 다녀올게.
Ooh, Kabuto.
늘 새롭다니까요.
두드려 패고 터뜨려 주지.
고개 거울은 깨졌어.
What Kento are you up to, Lupin? Are you up to the other one, or are you on the Intervallo right now?
늘 새롭다니까요.
가게 무력화.
한 건 했다. 맛있는 거 준비해줘, 단테.
해보기는 할게요. 안 되면 어쩔 수 없지만요.
찢어진 톱같이 흐느적거리는구만.
I am near the end of 6.
별것도 아니네.
Ooh. Oats just got up to the Intervallo for 8, and so did Ghost.
진 낙엽하오.
자세가 뭔가. 가게 무력화. 자세가
Everyone that plays in our server seems to be catching up at last to the current content.
가게 무력화.
바람구멍을 내주지.
We just need you to catch up, Lupin. We need you to catch up!
진 낙엽하오. 고개 거울은 깨졌어.
자세가 무너져. 다음 자세가 무너져. 다음 배를 날려주지.
늘 새롭다니까요.
싹 다 정리해버렸네. 아, 이러면 돈이 덜 나오는데. 아, 이놈들 지갑 좀 볼까?
림이라는 자의 말대로
It looks like
여기엔
Reem
황금가지가
wasn't
없어
lying.
보이네요.
I don't think there's a golden bow here.
제게도
I don't
가지에 대한
feel the
감각이
bow
느껴진 건
either.
없었으니까 이제
Now,
어떻게
what will
하실
you
거죠?
do?
우리 외
All organic matter other than
모두
us
오염되어
in this
버린 것
lobotomy
같다.
core branch have doubtlessly been infected.
림이라는 사람 말이야.
The
그
rhyme
표식이
guy,
있다는 건
he got that mark. Trying to get through 7 because I can't do the new event content until then. Aw, dang.
지난번에 만났던
Do you think he's in
날아다니는
cahoots with the
파란
flying
꼬맹이랑
blue kid from
비슷한
before?
놈이라는 건데
Are we gonna be okay?
괜찮을까?
확실히
Well, he did
결과적으로만
help us
보면
at the end of the
저희를
day,
도와주긴 했었죠.
even if he approached us very
아주 조용히
quietly.
다가왔지만
팔.
N W
우리가 뭘 어쩔 수
C
있지?
D. What were we supposed to do?
그렇네요.
I guess so. There was
저희가
nothing we
할수
could have
있는 건-
done.
하지만
Still, I don't think Damien
저희를
held
향한
any
악의는
animosity against
없었던 것
us.
같았어요.
뭐
Not against
내
you,
놈한테만큼은
maybe.
없었던 걸 수도. 관리자님.
Executive
그자가
manager,
믿을 수 있는
I still
자인지
remain
어떠한
doubtful
징조도
of that
없습니다.
man's intentions.
결국 그자
Don't worry,
잘못적이
Lupin, you'll get
무엇인지
through it.
명확한
He didn't
말도
even
없이
share with us
빼지
their
않았습니까?
goals, what their goals were before fleeing the scene.
야, 그래도 얼굴
Oi,
튼튼하니까
you
뭐라도
must
할
know
거
something
아니야.
about that bowl head. You knew that bloke, didn't you?
내가
Reem
알던
has
그
changed too much.
너무도
I
달라진
can't even
바라.
begin to fathom his intentions.
갈피를 잡지 못하겠어.
Let's get out of here first. It's pretty clear that the golden bow isn't here anymore. What fate befalls those who remain?
어떻게 되는 것인가?
우리가 손쓸 수
A fate
없다.
we can do nothing about.
알고는 있지만
I am well aware, yet
네 생각
I think I understand how you're
대충 알 것도
feeling.
같지만
But
포기할
sometimes
건 포기해라.
you just gotta learn to let go.
이미
If
늦은
there's
것도
anything
있는
I've learned
거구나.
from my life,
살아보니까
it's that some things are far too gone to be helped. Very well, Sir Heathcliff. What's gotten into you, Heath?
난
Didn't
믿어도
know you
다
knew how to
해주는
comfort
사람일
someone
줄이야.
like that. I wasn't going to suffer that last gloom. With the pallid wail's unintelligible signals echoing behind us faultily, we decided to leave the Lobotomy Corps branch. We will likely never understand them. Does anyone here? Wraith Muse. No! Lupin! No! No! Pre-battle. No golden bow, no survivors.
허,
ATFN.
아니.
No.
새로운
It was a
시선의
good
작품을
chance to
볼 수
observe
있는
art
기회였음.
crafted from a different perspective.
나쁘진 않았고.
I suppose all that wasn't for nothing.
뭐 괜찮지
Well,
않겠어?
we're going to be A-okay. A big win always follows a big loss like this. We're going to have to scour the middle of the Great Lake to find that bow. Maybe I should have learned how to swim.
그자의 말대로라면
If we are to believe Reed,
방금까지는
that golden
창백한
bow
고래가 삼키고
is
갔다는
inside
거야.
the pallid whale.
정말 가는
Are we
것이오?
truly journeying in search of the pallid whale?
십자만한 창백한
A whale
고래를
as big as
찾아가려?
as large as a mansion? Nay, as grand as a Castillo?
그
Can
많은 걸
we
우리가
even
잡을
catch
수
something
있을까?
like that?
그리고 잡는다고
Even if we
해도
catch up to it,
황금가지는 어떻게
what
얻어?
then? Ask it nicely to
뱉으라고요?
please puke the bow back into our palms?
돌아가는 편이.
Guys, maybe we should just go back.
돌아간다고?
Go back.
아,
Oh, I mean,
그게
돌아가면
and then
그
what?
다음은
What are you
어떻게
going
하실
to do
건가요?
after we go back?
뭐
What? Give up the
황금가지를
golden bow
포기한다?
just like that?
그렇게
Pretend
아무렇지
like
않게
nothing
없던 일로
happened
하고
and just move
그
on
다음
to our
작전으로
next
넘어간다?
mission? I don't know how or when it becomes acceptable in this group to throw away a golden bow just like that. But
그게 어찌 되었든
not me. I'm not going back. I've endured too much to go back now. There was just one thing that kept me going in this shitty company. One thing.
파우스트,
And you know what that is, Faust.
해줘.
이스마일 씨의 말씀대로
It is as Ishmael
이
said,
정도의 상황에서
abandoning the golden bow
황금가지
retrieval
수복을
in the
포기하는
present
건
situation
허용되지
is not
않습니다.
permitted. Success is still within reach.
하지만
But
지금
we
당장
cannot move at this
어디론가
moment.
이동하지를 못할 겁니다. 베르길리우스
It would
씨와
be
합류해서
best that we rendezvous
추후에
with
대한 논의를 하는
Virgilus
편이
before
적합할 것
discussing
같네요.
our next course of action.
그건가?
I see. It's that
이번에도 그
stupid
거지
law
같은
of the
보수의
Great Lake
규칙
again, huh?
때문이지?
네,
Yes, it
그렇습니다.
is. We have 2 hours
약 2시간이
remaining.
남았군요.
참 잘했어요.
Wow.
히스클리프
Good
씨.
work, Heathcliff. You're so smart.
이런
You little. Whoa! A sudden shock shook everyone. Let's get out of here first. What madness is this?
안개놈으로
I observed multiple ships in the horizon, beyond the wall of mist. None of their silhouettes resemble Mephistopheles. What the misfire, maybe?
아니 잠깐만.
Wait! Look around!
원래 여기까지
The water level!
차 있지
It'll be up to
않았었잖아.
our britches any minute! It was as Heathcliff said. When we first got to this branch, the water level was down there. But now it has risen high enough that the waves were lapping at the platform we were standing on.
만조군요.
It's high tide. It appears that this lake's water levels rise and fall depending on the time of day.
뭔가
They have
발사력.
launched something in our direction.
충격에 대비해라.
Brace for impact! Here comes another! So, not misfire then. Numerous harpoons suddenly riddled the ground we were on. We were being bombarded with harpoon shots, flung with nary a care whether it hit someone or not. Ryoshu parried a few harpoons away with the back of her sword, but they were simply too many.
Okay.
It's those twin hook pirates again, huh? Gotta say, I can respect their tenacity.
관리자님,
Those
당신이 기어코
trash are here only
살려두었던
thanks to your very
그제가 부른
stubborn
찌꺼기들이겠죠.
mercy, Dante.
그런 말 마시오.
Say not such
관리자
things.
나리가 행했던
What
건
Manager Esquire did that day was a judgment most noble. Twist was not an easy decision, sooth.
잠깐.
Wait,
조금만
just use your
머리를
noggins for
굴려보면 알수
once.
있잖아. 우리가 호수에
They're
묶여 있는
bound to
것처럼
that lake,
저것들도 호수에
just
묶여
as
있을
we
거
are
아니야.
to this one.
뭐,
Harpoons
찹쌀 실컷 박는다고 해도
Harpoon
이
us all they
넘어까지
want.
직접 끌고
It's
오려고
not like them
하니까
sods can drag their ships toward us. So in the meanwhile, what's it?
아니,
No,
보통
that's
해적들이 작사를
not what the
날리는 건
pirates use
그런
harpoons for.
의도가 아니죠.
So that's how.
우리가 갈고리를
Now you know why they call us the Twin Hooks.
찹쌀 타고 싶은
Are you
사람?
ready, kids? Who wants to ride the harpoon? So, for more clear explanation as to what happened, the pirates dragged the lobotomy core branch to their lake. Alright, so we just dunk on some pirates. We can go ahead and skip ahead. The Big Brother. We're fending them off somehow, but
저 가운데 있는
that
배
ship in the
계속
middle
불길이 가네요.
sure is eye-catching.
유독 화려한 건
Things are
다
usually that
그만큼의
gaudy
이유가
for a
있는
reason, you
것이죠?
know?
오라라.
Oh,
저기
that guy
저
standing
가운데
there at the
있는
center.
사람 말이야.
Rhodia rarely ever showed this much fear and anxiety. That weird guy up there, he's been posing like that over there ever since this whole mess started. Posing?
그런
That's
게
not what
아니야.
I'm talking about, Dante.
저 문신을 보고
Don't you
모르겠어.
recognize his tattoos?
저자는
He's... I poop you too, Starla. If you do fall asleep, rest well, my friend. A BB of the middle. A big brother.
좁은 형님이
What's a big brother?
작은
I think
형님.
she meant big
아니야.
brother. Sorry about bringing this up now, but what's the middle? Just a mere mention or a mere sight of them alone seems to shock and intimidate a lot of people. Remember how they pretty much traumatized Pilot?
저
I heard that.
듣기로는요.
The fingers, which
조직을
the
포함해서
middle is a part of,
손가락이라고
are
불리는 조직에 있는
on a
사람들은
completely different level from your
차원이
average
다르다고
syndicates.
들었어요.
I've never met any of them face to face before,
만나본
but
적은 없지만
아니,
no,
직접
people like
만나는
us,
것부터가
we're never
있어서는
supposed to
안
meet
되는
them
일이야.
like this.
뭐
We're all
그렇지,
going to be
봐야지.
foobar.
마지막 한 개.
Time for my one last sig. This is a good day to die, isn't it? Ryoshu, even you?
마주해야 하는 일들이라
If a trial must be weathered,
담담하고
we will
굳세게
weather it
받아내야 할
with
뿐일
dignity
것이요.
and tenacity, Dante.
준비 운동은
Alright, how was the warm-up?
형님께서 시간 줄 때
Big bros
싸겠어요.
giving all you all time for a warm-up. Appreciate it. He's wearing sunglasses? In this gloomy weather? Dante. For the sake of your survival, do not bring that up. The middle. The middle is the pettiest. Next to the thumb.
일동. 전열을
All hands, prepare for battle.
관리자님,
Executive Manager,
이번 전투는
this battle,
지금까지와는 양상이
this
다를
foe
것 같습니다.
will not be like any other we have encountered before. Under such dire circumstances, ensuring the safety of our commanding officer has to be our primary objective. Please, find a safe place to hide. Make sure to stay out of his way. Boring. Didn't think you'd take this long for a warm-up. Let us negotiate! If you're seeking to negotiate, we're more than ready to listen.
들어줄 용의가 있다.
Oh god, Otis. Negotiate? With one of the fingers? Oh, that's funny. To negotiate with one of the fingers. That's crazy work. Negotiate with a villain such as he? How? Well, looks like we're the ones begging for our lives now. I didn't think that a big brother of the middle would be here. In person?
그래.
Yeah, but I am.
난 말이다.
So, in all those years I've spent as part of the middle, I had this one iron rule that I never broke. Until today, that is. Your raid of my personal safe has forced my hand! Hot damn! Unbelievable! What awful minds think of doing something so heinous? What? Isn't this about what happened at the Twin Hooks Club? A bulky, ancient book hung from his waist, secured in place by thick chains. He lifted it with his hand. So here on this day, I declare your sins, O guilty ones. Your unforgivable sins. Look, we had a little kerfuffle with Miss Smee, but
그대의 부하는
your subordinate,
무사히
she remains
돌려보냈어.
safe and unharmed. Wait, no, stop! Guys, you have to let him read the book first. Don't add more! Smee? Who's that? Oh, no way. He didn't know? My interjection may have been unnecessary. Well then, okay. Let's see. With that sin piled on top, the big brother began flipping through the pages, taking time to wet his fingers.
안가품 장부다.
That's the Book of
저기에
Vengeance.
적혀진
Once your
이름들은
name's written in
뭐
that book,
끝이지.
Fubar is also written into your
풀어버릴
fate.
것만 같고.
Hilarious. So hilarious that I might go mad. So, do you guys want to know something fun? The thing is, Garden Deer would actually be a big brother in the middle. One of his, if he ever had an ID, it would be Spice Bush and a big brother in the middle. Sugar Deer would be a maestro in the ring, and Angel Deer would be a proxy in the index. Listen, we live in a binary world. The world that is so ludicrous, and the world that is that is bristly. Are you aware of their differences? You spare her life and it didn't you? Silence. The urge to blurt out, "What the hell are you talking about?" was palpable, yet it was suppressed by an unknown, incredible, patient force. The luscious is what flows and wraps gently around your hand when your fingers comb through it. And the bristly is what roughly stabs and pokes out between your fingers. Patience, perseverance, and a delicate pair of talented hands are crucial to becoming the most luscious that one can be. Do you understand? Do you understand now the incredible amount of effort that goes into maintaining this hair in the right shape and perfect lusciousness? There once was a coupon to get the coveted personal hands-on hair care. From the director of a top-level luxury hair salon on one of the richest ports of Eucor, the Stingray port ship, continuously for 5 hours. It is said that with that coupon, anyone can enter the world of luscious. And anyone with a coupon had the privilege of an appointment-free visit. Oh. Yeah, Heathcliff? Do you have something to say? So, we're being accused of taking his coupons for our hair salon?
아까 요슈 씨가
So when you called him a
했던 것은
BB,
속 좁은 걸
I meant that he
의미하지.
can be a real B to get rid of once you piss him off.
진짜
Damn it. We should have
엮이지
steered
않는
clear of
것이
these bastards.
상책이었건만.
그것은
They were to be my
독신을 위한
first
원대한
steps
한
into the
걸음이었다.
world of the luscious.
하지만 그
Yet,
쿠폰을
The
털어가는
coupon
바람에
thief
나는 기약 없이
has left me
거석인 채로
stranded
살아야겠지.
indefinitely in the world of the bristly.
자, 보아라.
Behold,
이게
behold the
너희 중
testament
하나가
to your heinous crime,
강무도한 죄의
your
증거.
heinous sins. The big brother tossed a piece of paper before us. On it was a picture. Heathcliff?
몰랐어.
I didn't know the safe was his! Look! It got colorful kitty stickers on it! You gotta be absolutely balmy to assume that it's the safe of the middle's big brother, right?
취향이라는
Everyone has
사람마다
different
제각각이다.
tastes. Just like the
맛이
numerous colorful
보석처럼.
lakes of the Great Lake. Hey! I mean, he's not wrong.
다양성과
Your
취향을
blatant lack of
구분하면서
respect for
연구에 적을
diverse,
수밖에 없다.
differing tastes will have to be added to the Book of Vengeance as well. Oh god, Heathcliff.
누가
Someone
희생이 좀
please shut
드라마가
Heath up before he adds
좀
anything
뭐라도
more to that
전에.
book. Oh! Heathcliff, did you even know who, what, or where these coupons were for? Of course not! Bloody hell! We are the villains in this tale then? Have we become naught but little thieving rascals? Wherefore hast thou committed such villainy, Heathcliff? Thou hast not once given a second look at a hair salon. Yet why? I've got my reasons.
단한 가지
There
희소식.
is one good news, however.
가져간 쿠폰을
The
다시
chance of your
돌려줘도
absolution,
용서해줄 가능성은
even if you were to
극히 드물다는 것이
return the coupons, is
0이라고
invaluable.
봐야겠지.
Infinitely close to nil, in fact.
그러므로 그 쿠폰은
Thus, keeping the
히스클리프,
coupons will make no
네
difference
것이
to
될
the
수
outcome of this encounter, Heathcliff. They are now yours.
불행한 소식으로
The bad news
그 쿠폰을
is
사용해보기도
that we'll
전에
be oofed
우리 모두
before Heathcliff even gets a chance to use them!
거겠죠.
With his extended, passionate speech coming to an end, the big brother of the middle and Don Quixote both whipped the tears from their eyes.
그리고 그 죄의
And the price of
대가는
your sins? Let's see. Title 8, Section 20 says,
거기서 A형의
on
여섯
row
번째
A, line
헤어
6,
쿠폰.
hair salon coupons. They have a line for hair. I mean, it is the middle. They're super petty. The middle is almost as petty as the thumb. Which tells you how petty the thumb is, I'll tell you that. That book has instructions in case someone steals their hair salon coupons?
그래.
Aha! I found it!
관계자처럼
Complete and total extermination of all
쿠폰을
involved
권한한
parties.
자와
Execute the
그자와
coupon
친분이 있던
thief
사람의
and
즉결
any and all of
처형이다.
their affiliates. Effective immediately.
역시
Truly a big B.
So-
나는 중지의 작은
My
형
name's Ricardo,
리카르도다.
a big brother of the middle.
죽으면서 새기도록.
Let my name be the last thing you remember
기억은
before you
무척이나
perish.
중요하니.
Memories are important after all. Ryoshu threw her one last cig to the ground, smoked it down to the butt.
썩 맛있지 않았어.
Unsatisfying. I'll get a
다음이
proper
있다면
luxury cig next time, if there is a next time. And the big brother quite literally soared into the air. Hi, vey. Okay, so I shall ask this. For the sake of progress, do I have your permission to use an ID unrelated to this Canto
즉시
to
출격하겠습니다.
solo this boss real quick? Just so we can keep the story moving forward. Because I am not confident I will be able to do it with what we have. I ask this of you, chat. If you guys want me to at least try with what we have, I will. But I can say for certain that this will not go very well. It might keep our progress from continuing. I have a surefire way of handling this. I just need your permission, and that is all. What say you, chat? I cleared this with Thumbmersault. Since I'm not hearing anyone declining, I shall do what I shall do. You know what? Sure, let's do this with... Is this all blunt? It is. I shall do this with the usual way. No need to make anything
지정 보호 구역의 소요 사태 확인. 목표 위치로 돌격 중.
Okie dokie, here we go.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요.
Back up.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요. 대검 방호.
Back up.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요. 대검 방호.
The power of Zwei, baby.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요. 대검 방호.
Zwei, yeah, absolutely. Zwei Ishmael's so good.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요. 하? 시간이 오래했다면 위험인물 발견.
Da-da, 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 da-da. Can't let you through.
대검의 머리가 쪼개지진 않았. 대검의 머리가 쪼개지진 않았을 텐데. 위험인물 발견. 제압. 대검의 머리가 쪼개지진 않았을 텐데. 위험 인물 발견. 제압할게요.
Back up.
하! 하! 대검 방어.
Ooh.
위험 인물 발견. 제압할게요. 하! 하! 시발로 의뢰했다면
Almost there.
시발로 의뢰했다면
Almost there.
위험 인물 발견. 제압할게요. 대검의 머리가 쪼개지지. 대검의 머리가 쪼개지진 않았을 테니. 대검의 머리가 쪼개지진 않았을 테니. 대검의 머리가 쪼개지진 않았을 테니. 대검의 머리가 쪼개지진 않았을 테니.
Yes! It's time!
위험 인물 발견. 제압할게요. 최선의 방어를.
Back up.
최선의 방어를. 대검 방어. 위험 인물 발견. 제압할게요. 최선의 방어를. 하! 하! 최선의 방어를.
장난이 길어.
And we won.
인명 피해 없음. 기물 피해 경우.
Dun, dun. Oh, I leveled up from that. Hell yeah.
소문이 퍼지면 당분간 귀하신 분들의 영지 보호 의뢰가 끊이질 않겠어요.
You regenerate like nothing happened. Unlike my hairdo, which should have received its rightful care that day, and will never recover. Can my clock even make a difference against someone so overwhelmingly powerful? My legs began to shake. Strategy, resurrection, it all seemed completely meaningless against this onslaught. Dante. Faust's voice calling my name has never sounded more hollow. Speak, Faust.
다른 수를
You must come up with a new plan.
생각해야 할 겁니다.
My bodily functions will cease again in a matter of moments. This may be my last meaningful advice to you.
효과적으로 무언가를 조언하기는 어려워.
Imagine my relief when I was nearly losing this fight and realized I didn't need to carve through the second half of this guy's HP bar. Well, at least you did not suffer like Knight. Our friend Knight was stuck on Ricardo for half a year because he didn't want to ask for any advice and he was trying to brute force it. And sooner or later, that man from the middle will come for you.
중도
What? The involvement of an individual affiliated with the middle should not have happened.
예정에 있어선
It will not matter how many times you turn the clock. That man will crush your clock as soon as he tires of inventing different ways of killing Heathcliff.
저자가 단테
There is a button on the back of your head.
머리 뒤에 있는
Tap it. Times.
조그만
Hold
버튼.
it. Times. I'd grown accustomed to total annihilation. We've had plenty on our journey here. The sinners always gave their lives to learn our enemy's mistakes, weaknesses, and patterns, while I worked out a strategy from the rear. And the answer would always be somewhere within our reach. Slowly but surely, we'd figure out the answer, and for that promise of an answer, the sinners rose again. But this time was,
말씀드린
once you have
방법대로
completed the sequence, you have 30 seconds before the charge in your head
당신의
explodes.
머리에는 쉽게 말해
In other words, you can self-detonate.
황금가지
That is our last resort.
적대
An
세력의
emergency
손에 넘어간
preventative measure to stop our enemies from getting their hands on the golden bows.
최후의 대폭발의 범위는
While the
크지
explosion
않지만
radius may be small, the heat and the force it generates are powerful enough to melt even the stars of the city. It should be effective enough to cremate the golden bows as well.
녹여버릴 수
What about Virgilus? He said he'd come to help before my head. I see that you now have a full understanding of our predicament. We have no way of relaying our present situation to him. Even if he did learn of our troubles, he has no means to reach us within the next 2 hours. What about the sinners? When I'm gone, you guys are... I am well aware of the consequences. My world will meet its end here. That is why this is your last resort. I could keep running. I'll take the boat and try to stay alive until the laws of the lake lets Virgilus cross the borders and... There is a chance, yes, but it's incredibly
완전히
slim.
0이라고 할 수.
This was the second time before Siegfried. The overwhelming sense of dread, so overwhelming that it breaks even our fighting spirits. The incident with Siegfried was humiliating, but he wasn't there to obliterate us. He was just there to teach us a lesson. But this man, he's not going to stop until he completely broken every sinner's will, until he's satisfied, until the humiliation the middle faced is reciprocated. He will kill. Even though this may be the end of the LCB, the world, no, Limbus Company must continue to
림버스
exist.
컴퍼니는
Dante, you must make a judgment call.
재밌는
Look what
게
we
다
have here.
몸은 다
I've torn you to
터져나갔으면서
pieces, yet with
넌
burning
대충
eyes you
죽지도
still
않고
attempt to
계속
rise.
일어서려고 하는군.
We can't.
딴 것들
Not here.
때문에
Not like this. Tick tock.
역시
And bring
째깍째깍
back the
돌아가면
dead,
실체가
huh?
되살아나는군. 세상 참
What a world we
좋아졌네.
live in. Is that the kind of tech even allowed in this city, though? Guess I'll go ask the great sister once I get back. Ishmael, we can't win. I'm sure Ishmael knew that better than anyone. I couldn't bring myself to tell her the same thing.
닥쳐요.
Shut up! Stop effing around and do your job!
계속 생겨.
다음 기회에
Give it another try, why don't you?
살려
Bring me back
다시.
again. Ishmael and I were nothing more than entertainment to him. With every turn of the clock, With every revival, he howled with laughter and clapped with joy. Alright, guys, give me one moment. I need to go use the bathroom real quick, and I'll be as quick as I possibly can. BRB. Alright, I am back. Sorry about that, guys. Let us continue.
좋아. 이번엔
Good,
선글라스를
good.
샀어.
You nicked my sunglasses.
하지만
Too bad.
다음 기회에
You'll have to try again. Damn it.
얼마나 많은 파도를
I didn't face all
넘어왔는데
those waves. Just to,
목숨만 무한정이면
as long as I can keep going.
어디까지라도
I can! The mist thickens. It expands, devouring everything. Our futures, our hopes, and any slim chance of victory we had. And so does the fog of my sight, of my mind. Will this continue until either Ishmael gives up, or until he gets tired of this little game? Until he simply walks over and crushes my clock? Could Virgilus piece my shattered clock back? Is that even possible? If I did as Faust told me to, and blew up my head, not even a shred of me would be... Your repertoire is starting to get old. How about we just zoom right past that, into the main event? I call this clock bashing. No! Dante! Run! Get out of here! That clock fella's gotta be someone so very precious to you, Just look at her, hanging onto my leg after all that beating. Not the manager! No! Not Dante! Not Dante! Should I press the button? Is that really going to be my last ever thought? It was a distant sound, like an answer to my question. That solemn sound told clearly through the blinding fog. Ah. That is not the sound of death, everybody. That is the sound of someone powerful approaching. Remember what I told you all. In this city, there's only two powerful entities, presence in the city that hold dominion over everything. There's the head, with their arbiters and their claws and their eyes. And then there is it was a skiff. One much smaller, much more modest than ours. Far beyond the misty veil, the skiff slowly glided across the water in our direction. On it was a solitary figure holding an oar. A giant harpoon was attached to the bow of the ship.
What?
But why? The big brother of the middle, who could probably break that puny skiff in half with his bare hands, stares at it in stunned silence. It became clear that the skiff didn't float here by accident. When the figure on the boat began to gently row in our direction. Through the mist, we saw something flash on top of the skiff. The figure hurled something in our general direction. It flew so fast that no human eye could catch it. I didn't even have time to register that something was thrown before I noticed something was piercing the big brother's left shoulder. Then a powerful shockwave, far mightier than anything the pirates had fired earlier, struck us. The air itself quaked. It was not a distance that most people would even think about jumping across. But remember, everyone, as I just said, in this city, there are two distinct powers that stand above everything. There's A-Corps with their arbiters, their claws and eyes. And then there are the colors. The figure leaped over from the skiff to the lobotomy corps branch, gracefully and with agility. The man from the middle, who so far had appeared unassailable, stumbled and fell to his knees. His shoulder was skewed. Ah, you!
당신.
That's when I finally noticed that what the figure had thrown was a harpoon. A harpoon too immense to be thrown by a mere person, let alone at such a blinding speed. The hooded figure's arm was wreathed in a familiar light. You old geezer.
호수에서 물고기
Thought you were out there fishing. What? You think you're some hotshot now that they made you a color? Just because you hunted the marlin whale? Are you challenging the middle to a hunt like we're some whale? That it? You're not the kind of idiot that would attack me without knowing the consequences. The middle is no different from a whale. But that's not why I am here. I'm just after a fish that got away. Of course you are. I'm sure there's no need for me to remind you that the middle never forgets. Feel free to write me down in that remaining margins of that nasty little book if you wish. It wouldn't even matter. It wouldn't even matter. For who's stupid enough to put down the name of a color? Let me tell you guys a story. In the city, there was once the fixer known as the Black Silence, who, in his rage, struck down a great portion of the city's syndicates. It didn't matter who it was. It didn't matter what they were doing. If they were suspicious in the least, the Black Silence struck you down. The Black Silence was likely in the Middle's book because they were also a victim of him. But did they ever get the chance to try and put the Black Silence down? No. How could they? For you don't mess with a color. The old man tugs the harpoon lodged in the big brother's shoulder. The big brother tried to hold his ground against the harpoon's pull until there was a crunch. Those that do not bend, break. The harpoon tore off his entire shoulder with it. It was a force that would have turned most people into tattered meat. Not bad. Would you like to give it another try? Fine, fine. I'll leave for now. But don't you forget. The middle remembers. Doesn't matter what I did here. The middle will remember everyone and everything that dared to turn their back on it. The middle always pays its debts, in whichever form. Ishmael and I had no choice but to watch in silent awe as the old man approached us. The harpoon was still in his hand, and if he wished to strike us with it, we could never hope to get out of its way. I'm looking for the fish that consumes this structure. Are you two also here to fish? The Indigo Elder. This was unexpected of you, Faust. For you, of all sinners, to be the one to bring aboard a big shot to our humble abode. Do you have any idea how many times that prick killed us? The least you could do is... Yes, that reminds me. I'll have to reopen my personal consolation hours for a certain kleptomaniac among us. Virgilus, obvious discontent at the involvement of an outsider, didn't seem to bother Faust.
작전에 투입해야
I
하는
considered him
인물이라고
indispensable to
판단했습니다.
the completion of this mission.
이유는
And why is that?
그 창백한
Because
고래를
I am the
잡을
only
수
one who can hunt
유일한 자일
that
테니까.
pallid whale.
그럴 테지.
Of course you are.
쪽빈
The Indigo Elder. Indigo? He's a color? That means to say that I, at the very moment, am sharing a space with not but one, but two color fixers?
거수 어디 있는
I heard that you were wandering the Great Lake to hunt its whales. I last heard you hunted one of the five calamities, the all-impaling marlin whale. The old man grunted. It was neither a confirmation nor a denial. But that was the way the old man was. Everyone understood that.
정황상
All circumstantial evidence suggests that the golden bough was devoured by the whale stranded at the Great Lake.
외곽에서만 보였던
Yes,
오지안 중
that
하나는
very same pallid whale of the five calamities normally observed in the outskirts. Of course. That's how these things tend to flow. We've wasted much time, so I'll be blunt. I wish to hunt the pallid whale.
창백한 고래를 잡길 원한다.
Yes, and time's all we have.
또한 저희는
Moreover,
그
we know
고래가
where the
어디를
whale is
향할지
headed,
알고 있습니다. 당신은 그
and I
고래를
am
잡기
certain that
위해
you have spent a
오랫동안
significant amount of time
기회를 엿보며
observing and learning that whale to
나름의
hunt
방법을
it.
터득한 분일 테죠.
이건 어때요?
I've got a plan,
원한다면
and I'll do anything to make it work, even if you want me there only as bait.
그 방법은
And this is how we'll do it. The crowd fell silent when Ishmael finished explaining her plan. You're mad. All that thrashing's finally sent you off the deep end.
이건 내 목적이
I'm just going there for my mission. And the golden
겸사겸사
bough just
가는
happens to
길에
be in the same
황금가지를
direction.
당신들
I'll
알아서
leave it to
결정해요.
you. Well, to the manager, since their decision
관리자님의
matters the
결정이 제일
most.
중요하겠죠. 아무튼
This company,
이 회사나
me,
저나
we're both just
목적을
trying to find a way to
달성하는
reach
방법을
our
모색할
goals.
뿐이에요.
That's all this is.
그리고
Besides,
딱히 이렇다
does
할
anyone have a
방법도
better
없잖아요.
idea?
나는 반대야.
No, can't agree to that.
정상적인 생각이라고
We're making a
들어주는
mistake by
것부터가
even entertaining that
잘못됐어.
barmy idea.
한 가지
I must
질문이
ask you
남아.
one last thing.
붉은색.
Will you join us to fish, Red?
자네도 이 낚시에 함께 하는가?
The Indigo Elder suddenly broke his silence with a question.
물밑에 사는
I'm not experienced or particularly skilled at hunting marine life,
주위에는
but
없기도 하지만 그런 문제보다
I have other more important concerns that prevent me from joining.
최악의 상황이
So no.
아니라면
Unless the worst
내가
comes to
앞에
pass,
사는 일은
I will not take
없을
part.
거다.
The old man rose from his seat and walked off as though he was about to leave.
잠깐
Wait,
기다려줄 수
wait a
있게.
moment.
길잡이가
We
참여하지
don't
않도록
need the guide.
승산은 있을
With a
수
proper
있다.
plan, we have more than
계획을
capable of
면밀히
completing
짰다면
this mission.
우리끼리 충분히 그렇게 섣불리
To
포기하는
give up
것은
so quickly is...
거절한다고
I
말한
never
적
said I am.
창백한 고래를
This
잡을
loud
때
screaming ship won't do in our
이유라는
hunt for the
비명을
pallid
지르는
whale.
때는 힘들 것이다.
Screaming? I didn't think Mephistopheles was that loud.
가까이
To hunt it, the
그리고
boats must remain near and converge. A
좁으면서
narrow, sturdy boat is what we need. Huh?
그러면
So all you needed to hear was that Virgilus wasn't going to help out?
바로 승낙을 한 거지?
Why?
그러게
Right?
오히려 손에
This could go
쥐를
much
들어서
smoother if
거절할
Virgil
줄
was with
알았는데.
us.
말씀하신 데는
We can prepare a
저희
boat that
쪽에서
fits your
구비하고 있습니다.
specifications should you request it.
아니
That's alright.
나는
I'll sail on my
내
own
배로 좋게.
skiff.
그 낚싯배?
That old dinghy?
고래가
That
꼬리만
whale
푸드기면
could
다
split it
부서질
in
것 같이
two with a light
생겼던데.
wag of its tail.
아니
No,
저 배
that skiff may
상태는
not
구려
look
보여도
like much,
어지간해서
but
부서지지
it
않는
is extremely durable.
X사의 합금을
I see that X-Core's alloys have been used in its construction. That could not have been an easy ingredient to come by.
혹시
Oh, another benefit of having a color bestowed upon thee, then?
들었는데
I heard tale of... Shh, Dawn. Instead of entertaining that bombardment of questions, he approached me.
보아하니
I noticed it in the
지금까지
earlier
곳에서
scuffle.
그런데
That clock seems to have been you and your crew's lifeline.
어떤 원리인지는 모르겠으나
I know not how it works,
시점의 일종을
but I presume it is a singularity of sorts.
하지만
It will
그
not work
고래에게는
against the
통하지
whale.
않을 능력일 거야. 그러니
So start now.
지금부터라도 모든
Get
것을
used to the
되돌릴
idea
수
that
있다고
not everything can be brought back.
맹신하지 말게.
Why? Why did you accept it, even after Virgilus opted out? It was a question I've been unable to let go.
어째서
Dante asked why you accepted our request, even after Virgilus opted out of it.
질문이 틀렸고
You asked me the wrong question. I would have denied your request had Red agreed to take part. Let's say that Red joined us. We would together battle the whale in a long, arduous struggle. In the end, the whale would surely go down, taking one of us with it. That is why I would have opted out when Red chose to join us. Because the hunt would no longer be mine.
그게 무슨 말이야?
Whatever doth thou mean? Thy intentions elude me. I mean that I would not be able to test the limits.
한계?
The limits?
지금
What
무슨
are you
말을
even
하는
talking
거예요?
about?
필요한 모든 수를
Look, to hunt the
가용해서라도
whale, we have to prepare with everything we have. And
지도의 그
out of fear, humans drew borders, even to the
테두리 너머에 있는
outskirts that lie
외곽까지나
beyond the city's limits.
그 뒤에는
Beyond it are stars that lie
넘어
beyond the edge of
이해조차 하지
understanding.
못할
Beyond
별들이
even the
있는
concept
곳이지.
of fear itself.
나는
I am but a
선을
fisherman
넘어
seeking to
그
cross the
이해에
borders
맞서려는
and
너무
challenge that very understanding.
설마 외곽 너머를
Are
말하는
you
건가?
talking about what lies beyond the outskirts? It's outreaches.
그 고래는
That whale devours
모든 걸
everything.
집어삼키고
It
재앙을
brings nothing but
부르다니.
calamity. How could you? Ah, so you have been a
자네는
prey
먹잇감이
once, sailor.
되어본 적이 있는 선원이 이곳에 있는
Countless
수많은
lakes here also
호수도
devour
모든
summer
걸 집어삼키고
calamities.
언젠가
If you find
중요한
yourself at a
갈피에 놓이게
crossroads,
되었을 때
if you find that your life is worth
자신의
nothing
목숨은
in the
전혀
face of what
아깝지
lies
않다는
before you,
생각이 지금 했던
we
이야기
call this conversation.
다시 한번 떠올려 보게. 나는 원래 조언을
I'm
해주는
now
것에
good with
익숙하지
advice. Never was.
않아. 그럼에도 몇 마디
Still, I thought I'd
던져놓는
part a
것은
few words.
같은 노를
As a
저어가는
fellow
사람에게
seafarer,
동질감이라고
suppose I felt a bit of
해야지.
kinship. As per the old man's directions, we rode on the skiff prepared on the Mephistopheles. I saw Ishmael moments before boarding the skiff on the Mephistopheles. This was Ishmael's plan, but I had no way of knowing what she was really thinking. I had an inkling, yes, and so far I've been going along with those vague guesses that led to disasters. So I had to ask her myself, Ishmael, what do you really want?
내가
What I really want.
원하는
I see another vision of Ishmael. She was hiding it well from the other sinners and Virgilus, but I could clearly see what she really wanted, her true desire. Ishmael, you! She was lifting a body from the waters, a body that was torn asunder, shattered bones, strips of muscle tissue, flesh. Ishmael trembled with elation before what looked like the captain's mutilated corpse.
뭐예요? 얼른
What?
가죠.
Come on, let's get going. She is consumed by revenge. Mm-hmm. This is pre-battle? Okay, we could just look at the pre-battle then. As we discussed earlier, we took a different route from the Indigo Elder. We were to first arrive at the separate destinations for our plan. Something's floating over there. Not long after we crossed the line, where the lake water turned dark gray, we noticed something pale peeking out of the lake. Are those
저건
islands?
섬인
There's a lot of them.
암초일 수도 있고.
They may be reefs.
어쩌면 이번 호수는
Perhaps this
이런
is this
장애물들을
lake's
피하며
challenge,
항해하는 게
to navigate it while
중요한
avoiding them to the best of our ability.
크기가
Well,
들쭉날쭉하긴 하네요.
They sure do look rocky,
저건 암초라고
but
보기엔
they're
크기가
too big to be
엄청
called
커요.
reefs.
뭔가 느껴지는 것이
Do you
있어.
sense aught, Dante?
저것들이 몰려 있지
We
않은
may
공간을
attempt to
찾아
discover a
나아갈 수도
path
있겠지만
that does not lead into an area
그쪽이
cluttered with
틀린
such
방향이라면
obstacles. Yet that will require us to hazard a path unknown. It may lead to this plan's ruin.
대략적인
If you can
방향이라도
sense
알려주시면
even the most
그걸
general
기반으로
direction of the Golden Bough,
예상 위치를 계산해
please
보겠습니다.
relay it to me. We can use that to approximate its location.
쪽빛 노인이 준
I can
정보도
assure
있으니
you a
예측은
degree of
어느 정도의
accuracy
정확성이
now that we
보장될
have
거라고
with us additional
판단됩니다.
data provided by the Indigo Elder.
뭐야?
Huh?
시계대가리가 나침
Why couldn't you have just
거야?
been our magic compass to begin with, Clockhead?
호수라는 특수성을
There,
가진
they are able
광활하게
to do
넓고
this
트여있는
only under the
공간이라
particular conditions
시도되는
of the Great
방법일
Lake,
뿐입니다.
which has very few in the way of obstacles.
육지의 도시는
The urban areas of the city are dense with structures both high and low and into the underground. The higher population density also complicates matters. Considering Dante can detect Golden Bough only in close proximities, considering that there may be insurmountable obstacles in our way, their sense will not be at much help there. So they're back to being just your usual Clockhead anywhere else. Huh? So that's why. That's why I could feel the Golden Bough here, even when it's so far away. I raised my finger and pointed toward the general direction of this vague feeling.
확인했습니다.
Confirmed.
해당 방향으로
We will
선회하십시오.
now turn the ship around in that direction. Ishmael wordlessly steered the ship according to Faust's words. We grew ever nearer to the island or reef. A heavy silence descended upon the sinners. Oh. Until Ishmael gasped with sudden realization.
이 호수였구나.
It's this lake. There was an incomprehensible look on Ishmael's face. Maybe I saw unrestrained joy. The joy of finding something she's been searching for so long. Such an overwhelming, all-consuming happiness that her facial muscles began to twitch on their own. Maybe I saw extreme fear. The fear in the face of death, of destiny. Unavoidable horror. The lake's splashing waves hit her trembling face and rolled down her cheek. Or maybe she was sweating from dread.
이스마엘,
Ishmael,
무언가
do you have
깨달은
any new
정보가 있는
information to
건가요?
share with us? Yeah. Here.
네.
I know what to do from here.
여기서
I know exactly what to do.
어떻게 오티스 씨?
Otis,
저는
I
후미에
can't
있어서
clearly see what's in front of us
확실하게
from
보이지
back
않아요.
here. Tell me
그러니까
precisely what you see.
지금
Their
우리 배 앞에
number,
어떤
their
것들이 몇
sizes,
개나
all of it.
어느 정도 암초들 주변에는
Trying to
어서
avoid the
해결하려고
wild
있으니
currents and find a
빠르게
safe
피할
path around
방법을
these
다
rocks.
기하는 겁니다.
Understood.
알았.
Otis nodded empathetically before rising from her seat to gaze at the path ahead. She balanced herself as the ship rocked.
350m
About 350 meters ahead, minuscule plain patterned glistened rock. About 5 meters ahead of that is a medium-sized rock. It has a bump on the top of it that stands out.
계속하세요.
Continue.
그리고
It's not so far from here, but there's a large island with a rough,
구멍이
porous
숭숭 뚫린
surface.
거친 질감의 대형 규모의
Oh,
섬.
upon closer inspection is an archipelago of 3.
그런 것들이
4
서너 개
similar
뭉쳐 있는
islands.
모양새고.
Good.
좋아요.
Ishmael began fiddling with the steering gear and the engine output levers, as though something had clicked in her mind.
좋아.
Good.
첫
We
번째
must have made it
암초는
past the first rock.
성공적으로 통과했다.
뭔가
Its texture was a bit different from that of a normal rock, wasn't it?
잘 아.
G.E.
저건
That's not the
단단한
texture of a
암석이나
rock,
흙재질로
or even
만들어지지
soil.
않았고. 두 번째도 통과.
We just passed the second one.
야,
Boy, what's so weird about the texture? I can't see over the big boy and the long one.
뭐가 이상한?
저건
That there
살아
is a living,
숨쉬는
breathing thing.
뭐?
What? Wait, Swabby! Watch where you're steering this ship. We're going to crash into that third rock at this rate.
남게 가는 거예요.
And that's what I'm going to do, Otis. That's where we get off.
우린 거기에 내릴 거거든요.
잠깐.
That rock?
저거
That creepy
말하는 거야?
porous rock over
저
there?
기분 나. 야.
Boy, feel free to crash into a rock on your free time, but don't take all of us with you. There's not even a single tree up there, let alone a person. What the bloody hell are we anchoring there for? You gotta screw your head on in a different direction than the Great Lake, Heathcliff.
뭐가 틀렸다는?
What are you talking about? A loud shock and ear-splitting sound with a skiff scratching and sliding against something cut Heathcliff off. Do you even know what you're doing? Going, woman! Oh yes, she knows. Hugh. Wait, that white color. Ishmael?
네.
Yeah, those aren't islands or rocks.
섬이 아니에요.
What we thought were islands suddenly rumbled and vibrating as ground tremors from earthquake.
전부
There, all part of a whale. A colossal creature shudders as it awakes from a long slumber. Okay, so since that's pre-battle, we don't need to worry about that. Okay, we need to do this one. Thank you, Lupin.
예술을 보여주지.
부선장.
이제 좀 일다운 걸 시키나?
와, 기대되네요.
앞장서시오.
내가 필요해?
Roshanate!
내가 필요해? 내가 나설 차례인가?
Looks like we're streaming over midnight, guys. We need to finish this Canto tonight.
안 되면 어쩔 수 없지만요.
하나 가져간다.
낙엽하오.
So we're gonna finish this Canto tonight, so that we can move on to the Intervallo next week.
폭들을 제거하겠소.
And the start of the next Canto, 6.
자세가 무너져. 배를 날려주지.
Time to do some overtime!
찢어진 톱같이 흐느적거리는구만.
폭들을 제거하겠소.
별것도 아니야.
자세가 무너져. 다음에 배를 날려주지. 출진이다!
폭의 거울은 깨졌소.
Poke. The Indigo Elder. A character I hope that we see again.
금방 다녀올게.
I booped the chat. I booped the chat. I booped the chat. The chat has been booped.
찢어진 톱같이 흐느적.
I do apologize for us starting so late, guys.
바람구멍을 내주지.
I had stuff going on my end today that required my attention.
자세가 무너져. 다음에 배를 날려.
늘 새롭다니까요.
작전 목표로 보이는 변동 좌표를 확보. 이걸 가지고 복귀한다. 제대로 대우해주라고.
Whew. Wait, go back. Hold on. The deer made a mistake. The deer made a mistake. Ah! Shakes you, Lupin. Shakes you.
좋아.
Right.
알았어.
I get it.
땅덩어리
I get it
척하는
now.
것들이 전부
All of these
그래요.
rocks were actually
이
whales.
숭숭 뚫린
And I
구멍
get that
같은
mermaids
것들에서
popped out of
물이
those
튀어나온다는
pores.
건데
But I think it's a loony
피해갈
thing
수도
that...
있는 싸움을
Why are
왜
we even
굳이
drawing their ire? We could have just gone around them.
스트레스 해소?
Looking to let off some
그런 거냐?
steam.
두더지
Like for a
잡듯이?
game of whack-a-mole all of a sudden. Is that it?
그럴 리가 있나요?
Of course not.
제가 알고 있는 게
This is just the
이
only method I
방법뿐인
know.
거예요.
You better
설명할 수
be
있는
ready to
것
explain what
같은
you're talking
거라고.
about. Heathcliff, furious, wasn't the only sinner that looking at Ishmael with expectant eyes. There were Otis and the other sinners who all looked to her for some answers. Ishmael. And I too, of course. I also didn't think I'd actually be doing this. Well, so there's this legend-like tale. Legend. Each lake of the Great Lake has its own culture, with many wandering and choosing to call those places their home. So naturally, there are as many tales as there are lakes. But there's this one tale of a certain lake that it passed down orally from sailor to sailor, just like the legends of old. The legend of the gloomy gray lake of wafting and rumbling. Sailors sang the legend of that lake, passing it down for years upon years. Doom and hue they veiled the path to the misty seas. Be gloom and let whales draw their pearls in search of the pallid hue. Tom shall be thy mist path, heeding the weeping of whales. Whatever does that mean? It's simple. Hit the porous whales to wake them. Draw out and hunt their mermaids, and the path to the pallid whale should clear of the mist. Do you really believe that? You expect us to just believe that hogwash? Blimey. Didn't think I'd ever get to say these words before my deathbed, but... Are you stupid? Listen, what does waking these whales up have to do have anything to do with getting rid of that thick fog? It's got to make even a little bit of sense, no? Heathcliff discusses the correlation between actions and consequences. This truly is a rare experience indeed. Shut up, smartoffs! I'm serious. And you think the law that sends waves after us, we don't cross the borders at the exact right time, makes sense? Huh? You think the law that makes us go in circles before reaching our destination, the law that doesn't let us go back the way we came from, makes any sense? I've been telling you this whole time, common sense has no place in the Great Lake. That's just the way this place works, okay? You just have to accept that. Fine, I'll give you that. But they're like the laws of the city. As outlandish as they are, they're still strict laws that can be calculated to those variable coordinates and whatnot. What you're blathering here is some vague old song. Am I supposed to believe something so absurd? Yes, because I've seen it myself. Years ago, when a young, stupid, and motivated sailor boarded the ship, she had the most unfortunate opportunity of witnessing this very legend with her own eyes. Because that's how she saw the pallid whale. Heathcliff fell silent, scratching his head, and the rest of the sinners also nodded and began whispering. I really don't like you. Took the words right out of my mouth. I don't like any of this. But I know you're not the kind of lass to lie or tell tall tales just to get the upper hand in a petty squabble. Fine. Let's go all the way to the end. I'll keep whacking these mole-like things with this club. I can also accept your explanation, but from now on, I would appreciate if you could share your knowledge with us first before doing anything. I'll try. In a way, I am relieved that we now have a definite path forward. Yeah. Let's go find our next whale. Yes, Executive Manager. All aboard, men! Truly, the ocean mist is splitting, as though a blade has hewn it in half. Once we eliminated the mermaids and the last whale, singled out by Ishmael, the fog slowly began to fade. Behind it was a different lake, beyond the gray sea. Finally. It's time to meet Moby Dick. The pallid whale. The weather there is quite hostile. Mersol was right. The lake beyond the border was a nigh pitch black. The waves crested tall, rising and crashing violently under the thundering rainstorm. The wild winds had begun to sway the boat. Yiseng's face was starting to grow pale.
저희가
I'm starting to wonder if we can really do this.
언제나 할 수 있어서
Did we ever let that stop us from trying?
그건
I guess
그렇지.
that's true. Alright,
진입하겠습니다.
heading into the zone.
이 호수의 파도는
Are there any laws of that lake that we must be mindful of?
이 앞에 있는
I don't know the
구역에
laws
대한
of that
파도의
lake,
종류는
nor its waves.
해무가 열리는
I
모습,
remember the way the
그
fog
안에
split open.
파도치는
I
시커먼
remember the
호수는
obsidian
기억에
sea
있지만
and the endless tempest.
전설이 실제하는 모습을
The rest of it?
지켜본 선정이
All I remember is that the captain was excitedly delivering a speech
고리를 잡기 위한
at
채비를
witnessing the
서둘렀던
legends come
기억이
to life,
남아있어.
and that we were all busy preparing for that whale hunt. So, what awaits us ahead is a true
이
adventure.
앞부터는
We'll be sailing
진짜
blindly
모험입니다.
into the night. Go. Then, we'll have to face everything head on.
네, 파도가 오면
Yes,
정면으로
if
부딪힐
the
겁니다.
if the waves come to claim us, we will face them head on.
그 고리가
Even the
나타나죠.
whale. No
아직까지
signs of that whale yet, though.
그때는
Back then,
호수에
it
진입한
attacked us
지 몇
mere
분도 되지
minutes after
않아서
we entered the lake.
그것이 공격해 왔어요.
Everyone was as tense as they could ever be, looking around nervously.
저건
Wait, what's
뭔가요?
that?
뭔가
There's something there. Something
게 있는 것 같은데.
tall. A close approach is recommended. I have a source of light to improve our invisibility. Mersalt got up with a lantern and pointed the light towards where Sinclair indicated.
하나가
There's
아니네요.
several of them?
저기 뭐지?
What's that? Hell, who put them there?
저런 게
What are they even for?
등대 같은 거.
Maybe they're like lighthouses?
근데
Lighthouses.
그렇게 보이기도
Yeah, I can
하네요.
kind of see that. Do you remember seeing anything like that, Ishmael?
네,
No. I don't
기억이
even have a
흐릿한 정도가
hazy
아니라
recollection of it.
저런 건
I've never
아예
seen it
본 적이
before in my...
없는
Ishmael, has the nausea of the swing sea got to you as well?
갑작스럽게 멀미가 도지는 것이요. 안색이
Your face has grown rather pale.
매카오만.
I knew that can't be true. A seasick sailor only exists in jokes. Besides, Ishmael has been doing just fine mere moments ago. Then, she must have had a sudden realization. I see. So that's what
이런
it looked
모습이었던
like.
거였어.
Even a small part of it is
저렇게
a terrifying realization.
어떤 건데 그래요?
What is it? You'll find out soon enough,
알기라도 알게 될 걸.
even if you don't want to.
저건 헤일인가?
There! A rogue wave ahead!
청원.
All hands,
잡을 수
brace!
있는 건 전부
Grab onto what you can!
아,
Before we can even have a chance to say anything, a leviathan of a wave rose to its crest, then crashed onto us from above, and sucked us deep into the lake before throwing us back to the surface. We were lucky.
수밖군요.
There was a high chance that
그대로
following the
가라앉을 확률이
vortex
더 컸을
would have
텐데.
dragged the vessel deep underwater. Luckily, you saw what was down there.
좋은 거 맞냐? 우리?
That was... Everyone okay? Everyone was soaking wet, nearly hyperventilating, but mostly awestruck by what we just witnessed. We have everyone,
이탈자는 없습니다만.
but... Huh? Huh? What we just saw down there were...
등대 같은 게
They
아니라
weren't lighthouses.
모조리
They were
엄청나게 큰
tails of colossal whales.
군요.
Wow.
진짜 그만하고
Okay, I really want to give up now.
고래라는 게
I want to go back to the time when I didn't know what the whales really looked like.
이 호수는
So this is the lake where the whales come to sleep. Yeah,
목을
if they're deep in the water with their necks bent like that,
저렇게 높게 솟아오르.
I could see their tails rising tall over the surface.
하지만
But There's no way they missed this commotion. The ship! We're keeling over! The whales are waking up.
저것들이 깨어날 거예요.
We're finally here. I think that's what Ishmael whispered. But the storm, the waves buried her voice deep in the lake.
쪽빛 노인이 작전대로
If the Indigo Elder made it here as we planned. Over yonder! Is that the whale? We didn't have to wonder, even for a second, about what Don Quixote was screaming at. An entire herd of entities, each dwarfing every single whale we've weathered throughout this journey, emerged from the waters all at once. In unison, they began migrating in a single direction. To witness something like that was enough to make even Mersault gape with plain bewilderment.
여기까지의 작전은
Looks like things are going according to plan.
그렇다면
Then we'll have to do our part.
대로 행동하지.
Oh,
저기
there! There! There was a whale that stood out, even among the herd of infallible immense whales. The pallid as the pale death, its hide thick with scar tissue.
유독 상처가 많군.
That one's particularly scarred. I found it.
역시
Yes, he was right. The wounds, the scars that Pequod made, they're still here.
피쿼드호가 내
I assume that you have finally located the whale.
그렇다고 생각됩니다.
I believe so. Yes. As always, the chance of success must be minuscule.
그렇습니다.
Indeed, it is. Oarsmen! Ishmael thundered. Ishmael? No louder than the thunder itself. As though her personality itself had suddenly shifted. Her voice seemed to overwhelm the very storm itself. Answer, you dogs! Oarsmen! Huh? Aye! Set route to that pallid thing! Full speed ahead! Row!
정력으로
Full speed ahead! Row! Even Otis was swept up to this sudden turn of events, repeating after Ishmael's bellowing commands. Is this what Ishmael was like when she sailed the lakes? Or is this the captain?
불빛이 보입니다.
I see light.
쪽빛 노인이
It's
보입니다.
the Indigo Elder. The old man in his skiff was sliding across the waters towards the whale.
잘 듣게
Listen well.
잠에서 깬
The rest
나머지
of the
고래는
awakened whales have gone after the bait I've laid for
던져놓은
them.
미끼를 향해 갔네.
작전은 성공적.
Then the plan worked. Now, it wasn't clear whether it was the thunder or the old man's bellow that awakens the pallid whale. Its eyelid began to lift.
이런 걸 이렇게 가까이서
It's
보는
been so long since I've
오랜만에
witnessed anything like this up close. It was an eye of astronomical proportions, so immense that it no longer resembled an eye, but a reflective mirror of the world.
직접 보는 것이
Oh, how I wish to see you eye to eye.
칼.
The old man, harpoon in hand, draws closer to the whale with a grim, stony expression. Ishmael also aimed her harpoon at the great whale, her face nearly tearing with uncontainable joy. Some sinners tremble with fear, while others prepare themselves. All of it, the world, contained in a single reflective eye that stretched even beyond our perpetual visions.
자,
Now,
물고기야.
here's your bait, fish.
미끼를 물어라.
Bite on it.
물 수밖에
I
없어.
know you have no choice.
나는 언제나
Biting,
그래왔으니.
devouring all you've ever known. Oarsmen! Split the sea with your oars!
내가
I respect you,
헤아리기 힘든
pallid
세월을
whale.
살아왔으며
I respect that you have lived years in numbers that I can't even begin to imagine. I respect that you hail from a place beyond my ken.
하지만
But
난이
I will
기회가
take this
지나가기
chance to stand before you,
이 몸으로
to challenge you.
모아왔어.
And with this challenge,
이해의
to the
뜻을
edge of
작전.
understanding I will row. The giant harpoon soared across the black sky, like a bolt of levin and strikes the pallid whale.
지금이다.
Now's our chance! Row on! Row on! Ishmael rose tall and alone, looking straight out beyond the speeding boat's swaying bow. Harpoon in her hand.
너를 다시
I've been
마주치면
thinking, ever since then,
무슨 생각이 들까?
about what feelings you might dig up from my heart if I saw you again. But this feeling is much more straightforward than I expected.
의외로 복잡하지는 않네.
Nice meeting you again, you effing whale! The outskirts. Compared to the old man Harpoon, the harpoon Ishmael hurled was like a needle, but once struck, as though its body was wrecked with immense, unbearable pain. The pallid whale's maw opened, and the air itself began to vibrate.
입이 벌어진다.
Its maws opens!
가세나.
Go. I will now fish this beast. Every sinner heard the old man's voice. Every sinner begins rowing with all their might. In desperation, as though death itself was in our pursuit. As though it was our fates, our destiny, to row. We were sucked into an endless abyss. And a rapid vortex pulled us into the maw of the beast. Tenebrous, as well under a moonless sky. There was a deep noise, and like a droplet in the sea, we melted into the fathomless dark. Acknowledge, acknowledge.
작전은 어떻게
How goes the
되었지?
plan?
들리나?
Acknowledge.
어이,
Hey!
아무래도
Looks like the radio's broken for
정말
good.
정말로.
Where are you? And we finally get to the dungeon. Okay, so question. Do we want to push for the dungeon? Or do we want to wait till the next time we do this? Next time, we will definitely complete the dungeon. But if you guys are ready to go for it, I'm ready to go for it. I ask now because it's 12 and it's getting late. I don't want to keep anybody up longer than, you know, well, than we should. How's everyone feeling? Think you guys can handle us doing the dungeon, or should I call it? Dun, dun, dun. Dun 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 ba 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 ba. Okay, guys. So since it's getting late, and though I want to keep going, I definitely don't want to keep anybody up too late. So we shall save this for next time we stream. So for now, everybody have a good night, and I'll see you again some other time. And I look forward to Project Playtime with you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, sillies.